Coffee Club. Theme, dinner parties, lots of fun. Visit us and call Daniel or Bo at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home. Town Village Audubon Park.
Welcome to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston. Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane. Here are Peter and Anthony with Sports 56 Mornings.
Y'all are focused today, I can tell. I see all business between my partners here. I'm making funny faces on the Zoom and no one cares.
No, we ain't got time for it. We ain't got time for it.
That's how I know. I can tell. No one is paying attention. To me, at least. That means there must be some significant activity happening.
What's right going around? One or two.
Well, significant activity either way. Yeah. I mean, I didn't say whether it was useful significant activity or anything else, but significant activity nonetheless. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to what is a very fun, very exciting, very great 3 hours of your life on this Friday as we are getting you set for hopefully a wonderful day and getting you into Thanksgiving week in style. My name is Peter Edmiston. His name is Anthony Sane. A.K.A. Gucci Sane today, in honor of last night's festivities and all of that. Zach Boyd, A.K.A. Zach with a K, A.K.A. Similac Zach, is, of course, producing today's program. We have a lot on the docket today. Did you know that, Anthony Sane?
No.
Well, allow me to inform you then. Because not only today are we going to talk about what should be a very big weekend in free agency and trades and such around the NBA. We're going to certainly do that. We're going to talk. We're going to do a draft grade segment and also kind of look ahead with our friend J. Kyle Mann, who joined us earlier in the week. He's going to come back at 8:30 to talk about the Grizzlies picks. He specifically reached out to me and he said, "Man, Memphis had a great draft," and he was super pumped. So I said, well, why don't you jump on? Let's talk about it. He said, great. So that's how that happened. And so he wants to come back on and basically throw laurels of joy and credit to the Grizzlies organization. So we'll do that at 8:30. 8 o'clock, Adam Kramer. We're going to talk college football with Adam Kramer. A very interesting week. We've obviously had COVID issues. Not really surprising that we've had COVID issues this week, but we do have an interesting slate of games that appears at this point to be on. We will discuss that with Adam Kramer. Kari Thompson going to join us at 9 o'clock to talk about prep football playoffs and prep basketball and what's happening in the build-up to the season there. Plus, we can get into his poverty Celtics if you want to do that as well. That certainly might be a good time to do all of that. You can join us. Here's how. You can call us on the First Bank phone lines, 360-8255. That spells 360-TALK, 360-8255. You can also hit us up on the First Bank text line. We'd love to get your texts throughout the show. Many of you are frequent texters, and we appreciate that. You can text us at 67129. Just put 67129 in the message address, and then go crazy with whatever you want to text in. We'd love to hear from you. 67129 on the First Bank text line. You can also chat as well. First Bank chats are open on the various streaming platforms in which you can find the video of our performance. We're right here, right now, as we speak. We are streaming it live to Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all these places that are out there. So please feel free to hop in any of those and chat away, and it comes right into the studio. We'd love to hear from you in the Family Leisure Studios. It is going to be a nice Friday weather-wise. Been a great week all week. Really dialed up a beautiful week for my birthday. and it's worked out wonderful. Good birthday yesterday. Thanks again for all the well wishes. Appreciate that. Had a fabulous birthday. So it's always tough the day after a fabulous birthday because that means
who you telling?
64 more to go. That's tough. But that's the way it goes.
Who you telling? Mine was extra rough. What did y'all do, man?
Oh man, it was we obviously because of the COVID situation, we're not.
Okay, I went out on my birthday, so I don't say because of COVID situation. What did you do, man? Just tell me what you did. I ain't got to hear because of COVID nothing. What did you do?
Why are you coming to me like that?
I'm just saying, man. Just tell me what you did. I ain't got to hear because of COVID. We didn't do nothing because you could have did something. So what did you do?
I didn't say because we didn't do nothing. I said we. You didn't let me finish the sentence.
All right, go ahead.
Jeez.
No, but I'm saying you said you did something modified because of COVID. So everyone in the world is doing something modified because of COVID. So what did you do?
Said you just told me you went out. You
I did go out.
You went. I said you went
I ain't
out,
say
right?
I was out, in the club or hanging out in the bar or something.
Yeah, but you didn't modify. That's
I left the house.
I
left the house to go to the studios. What did y'all do?
We didn't leave the house.
Okay, bro. So what did y'all do?
We had no. It was very nice. We did. Wife cooked a lot of great, delicious stuff, which I appreciate.
Okay.
It's fantastic. She went out.
Oh, so you sent your wife out?
Takeout.
No,
she got the. I didn't send. She that's her choice. It's her choice to do it. I said that. I didn't have. I had no control over it. It was a surprise.
Yeah.
She brought home a delicious meal. And it was great. And kids got me stuff. Man, I got tons of really good small, like lots of little small gifts, but lots of fun stuff.
Yeah.
And it was great. So
that's
good,
it was
man. All day. It was all day, man. Lots of surprises throughout the day. They did it right. My family did it right. They kept they kept spacing out surprises. So I kept getting stuff like breakfast and lunch, then dinner, then whatever. And there's stuff. 2 things coming today apparently. So yeah, they do it. And I appreciate that they space it out. It makes me feel special.
Is that one of the ways you like to receive love, like through gifts? Is that up there?
Love languages? Are we talking about love languages here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What do you think my number one is? Take a guess.
I think you. Can we go with number 2?
No, guess number 1.
No, your number 1 would be praise, like acts, like compliments. Like,
yes. Look at you.
Yes, yeah.
Lie to me, my love.
I've studied we've studied the love languages. We've been to the love languages. That makes sense. It's acts of kindness. My wife is an acts of kindness.
Okay.
So, anyway, it's great. I appreciate all the well wishes. Even the person that said that I look like I've aged like 20 years in about 8 years. I appreciate that. They're not wrong, by the way. That is true.
Yeah.
It's been a rough decade. So today, as I mentioned, busy show, lots to get to. And lots going on. Now today, Anthony's saying we are, as far as I know, and I always have to kind of put the caveats here on all the stuff, right? Mm-hmm. It's always like are we going to see a University of Memphis game this weekend? As of right now, yes, we are. Will that change?
It could.
It very well could, but for as of this moment, it appears as though the tightrope of testing and COVID and everything else. Both the Tigers and Stephen F. Austin have walked it to sufficiently, and so Saturday's game is on an 11 a.m. kickoff. This game, of course, was scheduled because UT Martin chose not to play. And we send our best to Martin as they lost their basketball coach earlier this week. Mm-hmm. Very sad tale there. But Martin has had a very rough go of it. And the Tigers didn't have an opponent as a result, so they had to kind of scramble around. And we mentioned, because of then that game got postponed, and so now they're doing it here. So it's just a whole thing.
Right.
But it is going to happen. It is going to happen. There is going to be a game, which is in and of itself is good news this week. Anthony's saying. As far as Tiger basketball is concerned, Penny Hardaway said yesterday they are still planning to do the tournament in South Dakota as if it would happen. I think that's probably going to
not happen.
I'm just going to guess that's going to change. I don't know. Again, we'll see. We'll see. I'm not going to like say an absolute prediction because who knows. But based on what's happening in South Dakota right now, I think it's tough. That's tough. Tough to send a team up in the middle of that.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for sure. Penny's got a talented team this year, of course. I love to see them get through the season, but yeah, it's starting off pretty rough as far as that particular tournament. A lot of people are asking about schedules, and we talked about that a couple weeks ago. Like, why isn't the schedule out? It's not the easiest thing to do right now. I mean, you can schedule a couple games here in the short term, but it's going to be hard to put out a bona fide schedule because it's going to be very fluid and things are definitely going to change. But yeah, like speaking of change, I do expect that tournament in South Dakota to be a no for the Tigers by the time it's all said and done.
It feels as though it just seems crazy. I don't know. It seems crazy to me. Like why would you? Well, I don't know. Like I said, we'll see how it goes, and fingers crossed that everything works out fine and everything's good, and that there's no issues there. The season is starting, so we are getting college basketball. Like
right.
It's upon us pretty much. So starting this coming Wednesday is when things really start getting going. You're seeing a lot of games on the schedule the day before Thanksgiving. And then that next week, later on that next week, is when the tournament is supposed to go on. So we'll see. We'll see if that indeed does happen. I think in the meantime, though, you still have to kind of figure out locally here, how we all can just kind of chip in and get this thing knocked down because it's getting a little nuts, as we've discussed nationally. And locally as well. Now, today is also a big day potentially for the Grizzlies and the rest of the NBA because later on is when the moratorium opens up. 5:00 p.m. is when the moratorium opens up and free agency can officially be discussed. Now, if you think that free agency hasn't already been discussed at length with a lot of these teams, then you are crazy because it has absolutely been discussed with so many guys already, including to the point where the NBA is starting to investigate and may punish the Kings and the Bucks for prematurely trying to arrange a Bogdan Bogdanović trade before you could even come close to getting it done. I mean, just an absurd situation there. And if they care at all about tampering and all that stuff, then they would they'll have to do something because that was just blatant.
Got something going on, bro. Hold on.
I
just need to pat myself on the back. Oh, that was it. Oh, that did it. Thanks. I appreciate it. Oh, I feel so much better, man. I didn't know what was going on. All I needed was to pat myself on the back. Poverty, big ass poverty, bro. Like who I told when you were in here, oh man, the Bucks just doing what they have to do, man. They're a poverty ass team, and they this is what happens. Did I not say it, Zach? I said, hey, pump your brakes on giving the Bucks props for this whole thing because it's poverty on top of poverty. It's another poverty move on top of poverty. Here we are. Hey, it's about to get torn apart. And Giannis going to be all okay. Hope y'all enjoy Jrue Holiday because I'm gone.
I wasn't against the deal. It was just more of I just need to see it on the court.
It's poverty.
I just need to see it on the court.
It's just more poverty reactions, bro. And I was like, okay, all right. Let's give the Bucks props for doing what they had to do.
Yeah.
But now they just traded away all their future first-round draft picks for Jrue Holiday.
No. This is okay. First of all, see, this is where you're patting yourself.
Hold on.
Number one, this deal is still going to happen.
Okay.
It's going to happen. So don't worry about that. It may happen with some modified stuff or whatever, but there's no indication that Bogdan Bogdanović doesn't. He wants to go to Milwaukee. Milwaukee wants him there. Sacramento wants him there. They'd rather do that deal. They're all trying to do this. No one is trying to not do this. This is not some kind of weird sneak. The only issue is that obviously the names and stuff leaked out for whatever reason way too early. But that no one is like.
So what's the worst
alleging the NBA is probably going to fine him. I would think. I mean, like the deal will still happen, and the NBA just fines him. Like that's probably what's going to go on.
Well, let me take them pads back.
The deal's going to happen. If the deal doesn't happen, if the NBA says that they're forbidden from doing it, then you can pat yourself on the back, go crazy. I don't think it's going to be that way. I think the deal's still going to happen. It's nonsense, and especially like this is the kind of BS that the NBA it drives me crazy for. I think normally the NBA does a pretty good job with most of the stuff, and I don't get into the whole thing about like super teams and arranging stuff and whatever and tampering and there's all kinds of tampering that goes on all around the league.
Right.
But this is the kind of stuff that they come out with and they try to put a hammer down to like send a message like, oh, we're really serious about this. Sacramento and Milwaukee, two of the smallest market teams out there. You want to talk about tampering? Talk about what's going on in the major markets. Talk about what's going on with agents. Let's talk about what's going on with other organizations. And I don't care about it. Doesn't bother me. Like, that's fine. It can happen. People talk to people. So what are you going to do? But you can't come down hard on this and be like, we're the NBA. You can't have these. We have rules. And then turn a blind eye to what happens in the major franchises. Get out of here. Get out of here, man. Come on. It's like, Kentucky, like basketball. Like, oh, they're so, the NCAA so mad at Cal, they're going to punish Memphis some more. Like, oh, we're going to punish, Wyoming for that. What are you doing? If you're gonna be real, be real.
I feel you, Peter. Hey, what I say? I don't feel bad for poverty teams, bro. I just don't. This is what happens when you're poverty. You get picked on, man. The whole league is gonna pick on you if you do poverty.
This is I will tell you this: if you want to pick on somebody for real, though, because this is not the Bucks being a poverty franchise. It's the Bucks trying to not be a poverty franchise. Actually,
It's too late.
If you it isn't, but I'm saying that we talked about what they did. We all know what they did. You don't have to keep. We all agree on that. That was stipulated. We're all good on
Right.
that. They shouldn't have done that. They'll say they're trying not to do it. They're trying to undo it. They're trying to be non-poverty, and that's okay. The problem is, in my mind, Bogdan Bogdanovich's agent, who is a guy by the name of Jason Rand, who, if you remember last offseason, do you remember the deal that Marcus Morris had? Where they had Marcus Morris, the Spurs were going to sign Marcus Morris, and so they let Davis Bertans go. And Davis Bertans ends up signing with the Wizards because the Spurs had to open up space in order to sign Marcus Morris. But then Marcus Morris backed out of that deal. It was a verbal agreement. But then Marcus Morris and his agent backed out of that deal and signed with the Knicks. Well, same agent of Bogdan Bogdanovic, Jason Rand. This is obviously a guy who is not real good at taking care of the little things in this whole deal, or the big things for that matter. In terms of like leaks, agents are a very frequent leaking source. So there's no reason that Sacramento would leak that. There's no reason that Milwaukee would leak that. Both of them know that they want this thing to go on. Both of them want the deal to happen, and they know the NBA wouldn't like it if that came out. This sounds like a more sloppiness from this dummy.
So you're saying the trade is going to be fine?
I think the trade will be fine.
I hope it is, for the sake of Milwaukee.
I think it'll be fine, man. I really do. Now, the Golden State Warriors are also doing their trade situation because they got the kind of expected but still awful news that Klay Thompson has torn his Achilles. He will miss the entire upcoming season after missing all of last year as well, meaning that he has not played meaningful basketball. It'll be almost 2.5 years if he's able to come back healthy for the 2021 or the 21-22 season. So just a super sad deal for him.
It sucks, man.
Who has had an awful run of luck of lately. And so the Warriors now trying to figure out, well, how do we maintain some level of competitiveness? Well, they used their trade exception, which was sitting out there and had to be used by Monday. There's been a lot of talk about what the Warriors would do with it. They will absorb Kelly Oubre into that $14 million salary, and they will send the Oklahoma City another first-round draft pick. Oklahoma City now with 18, I think, first-round draft picks in the next 7 years.
Yeah, that's wild. That's a wild number. Yeah,
the Warriors, it's a 21-30. It's a top 20 protected pick. And then if the Warriors end up in the top 20, they'll send 2 second-round picks to Oklahoma City. So it's either it's a late first or 2 seconds in this situation. So it may not end up being a first, actually, if it doesn't work for them.
Yeah, I saw the move yesterday, and I get it, but I actually don't get it because does Kelly Oubre really move the needle that much for the Warriors? Like, he's not Klay Thompson. And Klay Thompson was a big part of what they did. And they went way into the tax for him. And it's like this is the same team that traded away a first-round pick to the Grizzlies to get rid of Iguodala and then you turn around and you go way over the cap to bring in Kelly Oubre. I mean, I get it, but it's just a weird situation for the Warriors. Like, well, what are you ultimately trying to do? Like, when Klay Thompson went down, your chances of being a championship level team ended. Like this, that's it. You're not that team anymore without Klay Thompson. And then you go out and you trade away. And this is a pick that they're probably going to lose next year. They're probably not going to be. They could very well still not be a top 10 team in the West. I mean, top 10 team in the NBA.
They would keep the pick then. I mean, if it's top 20.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I'm thinking
top
wrong.
20 protected.
But what are you doing? Like, what are you trying to?
Well, here's what they would say. Okay, they'd say, look.
No, that's
we
what
got
I'm saying. No, I did say it right. I said it wrong, but I'm thinking right. They're going to be they're not going to be that bad. You know what I mean? So they made themselves get in a position where they'll be good enough to get rid of their pick next year. It's like I don't understand any of that stuff.
Well, for them, they would say, look, we got this $17 million exception.
Mm-hmm.
It expires Monday. We got to use it. If we don't use it, we lose it. So you got to use your exception to do something. Especially now with Klay Thompson out. If you let it expire, fine, but that's a great window.
All at the price of getting rid of a first round pick, though.
A free player. Well,
it's clearly not a free player though, because they're paying how much in tax for him.
But I'm saying you're not giving up another player, and you're giving up a late first, which to them at that point in their development, they're going to say, look, we're out. If we start trading guys, I mean, if they realize that they're not going to make it, if they think that this thing is over, then they're going to start trading guys, and they're going to get a lot.
They're going to get first round picks anyway.
Yeah. So I don't think they're worried about that aspect of it.
Because you'll get much more for if you're trading Steph or you're trading whoever.
Yeah.
I got you.
Exactly. You're going to get some stuff for those guys. And then if they aren't very good, then they're going to keep their pick anyway. It's top 20 protected. So if they have a bad year, or if
it makes it look
out, then there you go. Now what is the opposite of poverty? Is this?
This is a non-poverty move.
This is the opposite, because you mentioned the fact that they're taking them directly. They are very much a tax-paying team. Golden State is an extraordinary tax-paying team. In fact, they are already paying $66 million, but because they are that high into the tax, $66 million of tax means that for every dollar that they bring in, they have to pay, and I think the repeater tax for them gets up to $4 per every $1.
Good God.
So that means that Kelly Oubre coming in will cost them $68 million extra in taxes.
Just for his
that means
contract.
their tax bill just for Kelly Oubre, who's $14.4 million, equals $68 million in taxes. So they're actually paying Kelly Oubre. Now they're only paying him $14, but he's costing them $82 million this year because of taxes. Kelly Oubre. He alone is costing them $82 million this year, which means their total tax bill is $134 million.
But look at the trade-off, man. Look at the amount of IG models and all those type of things that'll be flocking into their arena.
I mean, Oubre is a handsome man. Don't get me wrong. I mean, very, very handsome man. But, that is – so we're going to talk about the opposite of poverty.
That's a lot of IG models, man. That's a lot of models.
It's a lot. You can do a lot with that. Now, one of the interesting things, because of that, if you look at the teams that pay – so, like, as of last year, I think there were 5 tax-paying teams last year. So that means that 24 teams. So it was 6. So there were 6, 5 plus the Warriors. So six tax-paying teams. That means the other 24 teams were not taxpayers, which means that they'll split that $134 million amongst themselves, which means that each team is getting a revenue-sharing check of $5.6 million because Kelly Oubre was traded.
On top of what they're already getting.
Yeah. Yes.
You get every team in the NBA.
Yes.
All the
every team in the NBA is going to get 5. Yes. They're all going to get
$5 million.
At least $5 million because of this trade.
So that means you're getting better Wi-Fi this year.
You have to ask Bobby P about that.
Hey, but our Wi-Fi should be better because it's not going to be that many people.
That's true. It should be fantastic.
Booming
it should be lightning fast if you're going to be in there for sure. So we'll talk about that. Plus, we're going to talk about the other. There's one outstanding thread that's still hanging from Wednesday night. And we got to get into that a little bit. We'll do that next. Sports 56 Mornings.
You have opinions?
I think they got a lot of athletic ability.
We want to hear them.
Oh, absolutely. I agree with you.
Call us on the First Bank phone line at 360-8255 or text us on the First Bank text line at 67129.
Hey everybody, it's the best time of the year to come out here to Olive Branch and get that new All-Star Chevy Silverado or Tahoe or one of these perfect new Suburbans. This is the deal. We asked All-Star Chevy to get what everybody wants for the holidays, and guess what? They went out and got them, and the deals are spot on. Seriously, these will go fast, so come out this week if you can. All-Star Chevy has more new Silverados 2020 and 2021. Lots of the new third-row seating Traverses. And you could still get thousands in cash back. If you want pre-owned, Olive Branch is the place to be. Look, All-Star Chevy's certified pre-owned Chevrolets, they have the best selection I've seen anywhere. And remember, it's not Mount Moriah or South Haven, not Collierville or the Pike. It's gotta be Olive Branch, people. And everyone at All-Star Chevy has one job, just one job, to make sure you have more fun, you get the best deal on what you want, and in record time. So find new roads to All-Star Chevy on Kraft Goodman Road in Olive Branch or online at allstarautogroup.com.
There's a new commissary in town in Collierville. Germantown Commissary is doubling. Yeah, they're still going to have the old Germantown Commissary by the tracks, but now there's a huge new Germantown Commissary in Collierville at Poplar and Houston Levy Road. It's huge, too. There's a drive-through. There's plenty of parking. No telephone pole to get in your way. A cool patio. It's right by the track, so the tradition continues. And this is a tradition that's been around forever. That commissary is famous for hickory-smoked, slow-cooked Memphis-style barbecue. They've got a private party room at the new one in Collierville. Self-catering still continues. Party packs for $5.95. Basically, the great ribs, the great pulled shoulder, the great deviled eggs. Everything is there in Collierville and Germantown now. So there is now a Germantown and Collierville style of barbecue. It's called Germantown Commissary.
When you visit Navy Liquor at 7866 Highway 51 in Millington, you'll be treated like family by friendly, knowledgeable staff. Select are your favorite bourbon, vodka, scotch, beer, tequila, gin, and rum, as well as wines from all over the world. An amazing selection of sakis, too. Coldest beer in town. Beer kegs are available. Any beer, any wine, any liquor. You got the Navy Liquor hookup. Come see us, holiday or any other occasion. Navy Liquor, corner of Highway 51 and Navy Road in Millington.
Make your next grill your last grill with the Big Green Egg. You can smoke, bake, roast, sear, or grill. It's amazing. Ceramic will not rust, but will provide the best radiant heat, keeping your food crisp on the outside and juicy on the inside. Just ask Big Green Egg users how great the food is. And it comes with a lifetime guarantee. Make your next grill your last grill by purchasing a Big Green Egg at any of the following stores: Cordova Ace Hardware, Hamilton's Fireplace and Grills, Garden Spas and Pool, Germantown Hardware, and East Memphis Ace Hardware.
The Black Friday sales event is on at Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat on Covington Pike. And we're going to blow you away with what you save. 2020 Jeep Renegade Latitude 4-wheel drive IAHS top safety pick. We Gossett at $20,736 or $259 a month. Or power up your game in a 2020 Dodge Charger $24,320 or $299 a month. And get rammed up in a 2020 Ram 1500 Tradesman Crew Cab 4x2. $29,656 or $396 a month. And 2020 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo 4x2, $29,878 or $398 a month. Drive past the rest. Come to the best. Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat 1901 Covington Pike. Online, GossettMotorCars.net.
If you want it, we Gossett at Gossett Motorcars.
Almost finest through Chrysler, 3,500 cash down, 75 months at 4.11 APR. Renegade, LPM 02132, MSRP 26,580. Charger, LH 167,053, MSRP 31,490. Tradesman, LG 29329, MSRP 37,855. Cherokee, LC 403,192, MSRP 35,495. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695 excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 11/30/2020 with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
Hi, this is Troy Five-Ash, owner of Five-Ash Roof Services. You've heard me talk about how we offer the best products, the best warranties, and the best services for years. Now let's talk about pricing. Pricing should never be the only reason you hire a contractor, but in today's world, pricing is always a consideration. So we suggest you get 2 or 3 estimates for your roof replacement from a reputable, licensed, and insured company, and then give us a call. If we can't beat your best price for a comparable roof system by more than $100, we'll give you $100. It's that simple. We are so sure we can offer you the best price, beating all other qualified companies, we will hand you $100 if we can't, and thank you for the opportunity. So give us a call. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? Make $100? Five-Ash Roof Services, a proud supporter of Tiger Athletics and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. Five-Ash Roof Services, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Five-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Sports 56 traffic.
We're working 2 separate accidents on Lamar Avenue. We have one Lamar Avenue at American Way. Also, we have a crash on I-240 northbound on the entry ramp from Lamar Avenue heading eastbound. So, crash on Lamar Avenue at American Way, I-40 northbound on the entry ramp from Lamar Avenue heading east on the interstate. And that is your Sports 56 traffic update.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston.
Yes, I will be good, I promise.
Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane.
That's great, man.
Now, back to Peter and Anthony.
A strong, sexy hammer with a body built to rip your mind. Every time she turns the corner, she makes me wanna pull up and go from behind. She's a real traffic jammer, a strong, sexy hammer with a body built to rip your mind. Every time she turns the corner, she makes me wanna pull up.
Funky Friday. All right, so Anthony Sane, got a question. Got a question for you. What is this Grizzlies and Celtics trade? Is it gonna be conveyed today? Why don't we know who's in the deal? What's going on? Tell me real.
I think I got an answer to one of your questions. You asked like 4,
Okay.
I think. I think the reason for the delay is that this deal may be bigger than 2 future firsts for the 30th pick.
2 future seconds, you mean?
Oh, crap, man. Oh.
Oh, no.
Big difference.
Yeah. Big
Yeah,
difference.
big difference, man. Yeah, I think it could be bigger than 2 future Grizzlies second-round picks for the 30th pick and the rights to Desmond Bain. I think it could be considerably bigger.
How much bigger?
Like several moving parts.
Yeah, I think it is looking to me as though that is the situation. Now, obviously,
where Desmond
because
Bain, the Desmond Bain trade could be the smallest part of it. Like it'll feel like kind of a throw-in. Like when this,
well, yeah,
throw-in-ish.
Yeah. It's because the way that the whole thing is going to go down is really interesting. Like because the Grizzlies, like on draft night, the structure of the deal was reported as, and we talked about how confusing it was in the beginning, and you rightly lambasted me for my incorrect information as this process was going on. But I think you're seeing now that there's a reason why the information was so weird, because it is weird. Everything's weird. This whole trade is still been kind of a
right.
There's been a lot of kind of, I don't know, frictional moving pieces, that kind of thing. And you have to get into the other thing is you have to kind of get into the nuts and bolts of the NBA, like all the little rules about salaries and stuff, if you want to understand why this is kind of getting weird. For example, so the Grizzlies, the thought seems to be that they're going to slide Enes Kanter potentially into there's a trade exception that the Grizzlies have opened up that they need to use. They got a million small trade exceptions. And one of them is just about the right size for Enes Kanter's deal. But he'd have to opt in to that deal. And then if he opted in, he's got a player option that has to be executed by the close of league business for the 2019-20 season. Technically, we're still in the 2019-20 league season. That will end at 5 o'clock this afternoon. So if he opts in on that and slides over, then he gets to keep that deal for next year. If he doesn't, then he would become a free agent and it would evaporate. So the Grizzlies, this may be an opportunity for them to do the Celtics a little bit of a favor and slide him into the mix as a bigger part of this deal. The thought was eventually that it was going to be Vincent Poirier, who would be part of the deal, but he's already now been traded in a separate deal to the Thunder. I think the Cantor involvement, because the Grizzlies have a trade exception that they can use, and he could opt in and then get traded over. They may be waiting for that kind of situation. I don't know. There's a few different options. I heard some scurrilous rumor that they would try to fold in Dylan Brooks into this deal, but I don't think that's true. I don't see any reason to do that.
I do.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, tell me. I'm okay with scurrilous rumors.
Well, I'm no Joe Mullinax, so. I would like to just throw stuff out because I understand the responsibility when you start saying stuff, people start thinking it's real.
There's no question. You are very responsible with the rumors that you throw out. There's definitely.
Because people,
100%.
People will hold me to it.
Weird things out.
Well, Saints say they're about to trade up. No, I didn't say that. But I could see a scenario where trading Dylan Brooks could be beneficial.
Well, listen, I have to let you know before we go any further. Just understand this: whatever you say is going to be manipulated.
No, for sure.
On these airwaves, like I've dealt with that for years. Where I had players mad one time. I had one coach mad at me for something they thought I said, which I did not say. But somebody told them that I said this, and it was not that at all, and it's a whole thing. So you can't let that stop you. You just got to say what you're going to say. People are going to misconstrue it, however they're going to say. But say it fully. Put the whole chest into it. When is Dylan Brooks going to be traded?
I don't know. I can see a situation where, because I was kind of shocked when Gordon Hayward didn't opt in last night. So that kind of made me figure out, what's really good? Like, why are you not opting into that nice piece of money you got? So that's all I'm gonna say. Because I'm no Joe Mullinax. Shout out to my good friend Joe Mullinax.
What? I feel like we went from A to X, and we didn't we gotta go through some of the alphabet in between.
I could see a possible.
You ever see the movie Fear of a Black? You ever see the movie Fear of a Black Hat?
No.
One of my favorites. You gotta watch it. It's awesome. It's like a Spinal Tap, like a mockumentary about '90s rap. It's hilarious. It's great. Super funny. But anyway, there's one character on there who he walks in there and he goes, "Just want to let you know, second letter of the alphabet is B." And they're like, "What? What is that?" What? He's like, think about it. Yeah. That's what you said. Like,
yeah.
I'm just saying. Gordon Hayward. Okay. Think about it. And then that's
no, but seriously.
All right. Okay. I'm gonna think about it. Let me. Okay. All right. Help me think about it a little bit.
I wouldn't be surprised to see a situation where you do a Gordon Hayward sign and trade with Memphis, and some other stuff moves around too. So.
The amount of money, there's no. I mean, I don't know. You know, it would be.
I'm not saying this is just me spitballing.
Yeah.
I mean, this ain't nothing I hadn't heard, but I can look into it. I would. It just when I saw him opt out, I was like, okay, that didn't sound right.
Yeah, because that's $34 million. You just
right.
gave up.
I was like, okay, that don't sound right at all.
Off the rep.
No, but I mean, I think he's looking. I mean, you could make a case again. I understand what you're saying, and I enjoy a fun, scurrilous rumor as much as the next person. So I'm with you there. But I think you could also just justify it as to say, look, hey, it's pretty basic. Like, you know, he thinks in this market because there's just not a whole lot out there that's a high level guy. You know, he probably thinks, hey man, I can get either re-signed with Boston for a longer term deal and get more stability, or somewhere else and be able to take advantage of somebody somewhere and end up making more money than his 34, especially with his injury history being what it is. I think the idea of being an unrestricted free agent and not having any kind of backstop is probably not that appealing to him. He probably wants to go ahead and lock up a little bit more time. So to me that makes sense, even taking that into account. Now, if you want to start getting crazy and say, hey, it's going to be a sign and trade with Gordon Hayward, and they're going to sign him for 20-some-odd million. They're going to send Jonas and Dylan and whatever. Hey, okay, all right, let's get going.
I don't think it'd be
start
Jonas.
Some scurrilous rumors.
I think it'd be a player that could free up Boston some space next season.
I mean, who are you talking about? Just be like, it's not.
You know our roster, man. You know our roster.
Just say it, but I'm asking you to say it because it's
because then people gonna say I'm making up trades. Now if it happened, I'll take full credit for it.
No, listen.
You know that.
No, okay, so. Let me stipulate. Let me stipulate right now. This is not Anthony saying or Gucci saying that this is going to happen. But I can see a situation where you do something based around Gorgie and Dylan, and that frees up Gorgie's expiring. We get Gordon Hayward, and I can see that happen. That doesn't. To me, you'd have to put more in than that. I mean, there's no way that they would.
Who?
The Grizzlies. It'd have to be significantly bigger than that.
You wouldn't take that?
From no.
I'd take that in the New York
Hayward? No. Gordon Hayward's a good player, man.
That's what I'm saying. Why wouldn't the Grizzlies take that?
If I'm the Grizzlies, of course I would take that. But that's not. I'm talking about the Celtics. Why would the Celtics do?
Because
there's no. I mean, there's no reason to. I mean, Dylan Brooks is not.
Could you see it being DeAngelo Melton?
I mean that's probably more appealing to them because he's younger and he's a little more ball handling, versatile, that kind of thing. I think like Dylan to me doesn't move the needle for them that much. I mean, if the Grizzlies included some other younger pieces, Melton, some kind of a double sign and trade situation, maybe. We saw that last year. Those things can happen. I mean, obviously they probably. I mean, Grayson, maybe throw him in the mix. To Boston to give them a young piece. They do like that. I don't know. I mean, I like the spitballing nature of it. I'm at this point. I'm just thinking if I'm Boston, Gorgie and Dylan don't really. I mean, especially the Dylan's good, but I don't think he's. I think Boston fans would be. He doesn't replicate those skills that you're losing with Hayward, and Hayward was an important piece if he's healthy. He's an important piece for them. But it is intriguing that this deal hasn't been consummated yet. That means that stuff's happening. Yeah. I think it's probably something more. I think it's a little more simple. I think it's probably just Enes Kanter in that.
I ain't say it ain't, man. It's a prime example of what I'm saying, bro. I'm just saying. Yeah. See what I'm saying, bro? I ain't say it is this. I just said it.
I didn't say that either.
I can see a situation where
I'm telling people where this is a good example of like here's what it probably is, but here's also what it could be.
It could be,
and it's interesting to kind of theorize about. If you want to get wilder, what it could be, these are the ways.
It's probably something as simple as the Kanter situation, opting in, opting out, and what Hayward does, opting in, opting out, and what particular player comes back to Memphis. I think it's something as small as that.
Yeah,
but I mean, the
but it could be
have done some crazy moves, and it's and the Grizzlies do have salaries. They have a significant amount of expiring salary that if a team is inclined to try to get off some contract. I mean, it would make some sense, for the Grizzlies on a bigger scale, whether that's the deal or not. It would make some sense for the Grizzlies to be kind of poking around the market for a team that's willing to give up a impact, youngish kind of player, and on a multi-year deal that maybe isn't as attractive anymore. That's the kind of thing that you would want them to kind of keep an eye on. Gordon Hayward's 30, so like. Does he fit the timetable? Not really. But, impact-wise, are you looking for some players? Maybe. I think you can use those expirings that you're talking about. Gorgie Dieng, potentially Jonas Valanciunas, depending on how things go with him. That's about, $30 million, maybe $35 million even, in expiring. So that's great. You can use that to make a deal if such a deal is possible. That remains to be seen, but they've got. I don't know. I'm intrigued. I like the way you think. I did hear multiple scurrilous Dylan Brooks mentions, so that got my attention.
Yep.
From like, people and I heard it from more than one person that I'm at least moderately intrigued by. I'm not saying it's anywhere close to a done deal or anything like that, but I was just kind of intrigued by it. So
I don't know
it was
why
enough to make me. It was enough to make me kind of go like, let me just kind of think about how that might work. It wasn't something that occurred to me, but hey, this
I
is
don't know why
time,
I haven't asked you this, but the whole rule about Dylan and his extension and his trade eligibility. That expires regardless of the schedule, right? We'll talk about that when we get back.
Yeah, let's talk about that after the break. We'll get into some of those details, but yeah, we got to take the break. We'll come back. We'll hammer out some of those details. Talk about some of the other things you can look for as free agency is getting underway. Then we're going to talk to Adam Kramer. We're going to talk to J. Kyle Mann. We're going to talk to Kari. We got a busy show here. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1, 98.5.
Get happy with Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. Weekday afternoons from 1 to 3 on Sports 56, 98.5, and 96.1.
Looking for a new ride to celebrate the end of 2020? We Gossett at Gossett Kia's holiday sales event. Command the season and you'll find what you want, need, and love at Gossett Kia on Covington Pike. 2020 Kia Forte, $133 a month lease. 2021 Kia Soul, $148 a month lease. Plus 2021 Kia K5, $189 per month lease. All 36 months, $3149 due at signing. And don't miss 2020 Kia K900. We Gossett at $10,000 off MSRP. You want it? We Gossett at Gossett Kia 1900 Covington Pike, or shop 24/7 KiaCovingtonPike.com. Ask for Bobby J. He'll put you in a new Kia today. All 36-month leases, $3149 due at signing. 0 security deposit, 10,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage, $650 acquisition fee. Forte LE 242,174, MSRP 20,505. Sold M7755 682, MSRP 20,315. K5 MG 003,199, MSRP 25,725. K900 MSRP 65,610. L60 26,907. L60 21,220. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695 excludes tax on license with approved credit offer valid through 11/30/2020. Dealer stock only. Warranty is a limited powertrain warranty. See Kia.com or retailer for details.
Don't miss Lowe's Provember event, because this month we're saying thanks to our pros in a big way. We have deals on go-to brands like DeWalt, Spyder, and Metabo HPT. During Provember, now through November 25th, you can buy one DeWalt 20-volt Max XR Power Detect tool and get one Bear tool free. We also have credit options to help keep your business moving. Shop in store or at lowesforpros.com/Provember. Lowe's, the new home for pros. Offer valid 10/29 through 11/25. See store for details while supplies last. U.S. only.
If ever there was a time for comfort food, this is it. And there's no comfort food like Sunrise on Jefferson. Fresh-made breakfast featuring Sunrise's signature homemade square biscuits, or the huge selection of hot, fresh, and fast lunch items are all part of what has always made Sunrise the most comforting of comfort foods in Memphis. Of course, everything that can be done to keep you and the staff safe at Sunrise is a top priority. And you can always order ahead and get delicious Sunrise to go. At a time this confusing, it's good to know there's one thing you can count on: Sunrise.
What can help you take advantage of today's low mortgage rates and save money? Rocket can. You could save hundreds of dollars every month by refinancing with Rocket Mortgage at today's near historic low rates. If your current rate is over 4%, you could lower your payment by over $150 a month, saving thousands in interest every year. Call us today at 8338-ROCKET or go to rocketmortgage.com.
Savings are based on Quicken Loans, internal data. Points and fees may apply. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Number 3030.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Chris Price here for Brian Elder Roofing. The storms we've had over the past several months have been devastating to our communities. The rainy season is ahead. You may have not even noticed the dripping in your attic, water stains throughout your home, or even worse, mold and mildew. Please call Brian Elder Roofing and we will send out our project managers to assess any damage. We will not try to sell you a roof if all you need is a repair. We will measure your roof from outer space. 0% for 60 months, even no payments till 2022 are available with approved credit. If you've noticed missing shingles, water stains, leaks in your roof, call us before you call your insurance company at 867-0303. That's 867-0303, and we will provide a free, thorough inspection of your roof's condition.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Brian Smith, we love the one and only Lexus dealership in Memphis.
Thanks, Stats. The fall months are always the best time to shop for both new and pre-owned cars. We're right in the middle of model year end change. The 2020s have got to go to make room for the new 2021 models, and we continue to trade for the best pre-owned cars in the city, all makes and models.
Service is one of y'all's hallmarks.
Our award-winning service department is adhering to all socially distanced safety precautions.
You can experience amazing at Lexus of Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway and online at lexusofmemphis.com.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston.
Yes, I will be good, I promise.
Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane.
That's great, man.
Now, back to Peter and Anthony.
Man, Anthony saying you got to stop posting such adorable pictures on the old Twitter.
Yeah, I try, man. I try, my brother. I try not to, but I just can't help it, man. My kids are pretty awesome little dudes.
I know it. At Sane Asylum, little Gabe, man, he is precious. I'm telling you, adorable.
with a big ass jersey on, but it's fine.
I mean, looking a lot more like his daddy every day.
Yeah, I got it. I got his jersey big enough so we can wear it to when the world opens back up in 2020.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, no, I know he loves Jaron. I know he and Jaron are.
Oh yeah, Jaron's his boy.
So it's always fun. No, he's I always got a soft spot, man. He's super cute.
Thank you, bro.
Good job.
So is his dad, so I appreciate you.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Of course. Handsome jeans, cute dad, cute kid. There you go. So now you were as we went to the break, you were talking about the Dylan Brooks situation and what his something with his contract. Is that what you were going to?
You shouldn't let me go to the break. I totally forgot what I was talking about. No. There's a clause in the NBA. There's a clause in the NBA that says, you can't a guy that signed an extension, clause. You can't trade him within 6 months of his extension. And I'm wondering, is that regardless of what happens with the NBA season? Like if with the delay, the pushback, and all those type of things, is that changed? Is that extended out, or does it?
Yeah, it's weird because like the dates and stuff. No, as far as him, it shouldn't be a problem with him being potentially tradable. But it is weird that these dates. Some of the dates have changed. Some of the dates have not. Like the trade exception, for example, that Golden State was dealing with, like that didn't change, even though the whole like situation around it changed. Like when you're thinking about an exception that expires in the middle of November, you don't think of that as like right the night before or right in the middle of the first weekend of free agency. It just doesn't. It's so some of the hard deadline numbers have not changed. Some of them have. No, as far as that goes, no, he should be fine. Typically. It's guys within the first year of a outright free agency deal, or there are I guess other types of extensions that you could sign that would have a little bit of a poison pill. But as far as I know, I don't think there's any issue there with him and poison pills and anything like that. So. Yeah.
Okay. So they're able to trade Dylan right now.
I think
today.
they're good. Yeah. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
And again, even those other guys, you could. Most of the time you can trade them, but their money counts differently. So it's just like you can't. Mm-hmm. They have like base year compensation, they call it, where like if you trade a guy, his contract only accounts for half the value in the trade, so that it kind of incentivizes teams not to trade him. You'd have to, if it's a $30 million guy, you'd only be able to trade back $15 million in compensation. So it's kind of it makes it hard to do deals sometimes in those sorts of setups. But I don't think, again, unless I'm not seeing it, but I don't see any reason why that would be an issue for him theoretically.
Well, Peter, I'm gonna say this before we move on. Now, if you thought I had you thought I had a trade idea. If you thought I had a hypothetical Joe Mullinax special, hey. You might want to pass the mic to Zach, because that man dropped a monster, and it made way more sense than anything I was saying.
Okay, let's go.
Come on, Zach.
So
give yourself some music, man. No, you don't get the mic off.
Well,
man.
no,
give yourself some music.
Well, we up against the break here, but I try to make this as short as I can.
All right.
So it makes a lot of sense for Gordon Hayward to opt into his $34 million deal, but he didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know in the back of my mind, like there was the the news that dropped that he was linked to the Pacers.
Mm-hmm.
And so it could be that this Memphis and Boston deal could be blown up to a 3-team trade. Send Gordon to Indiana, where we could possibly get Victor Oladipo, because they were thinking about moving Victor Oladipo. Like, I'm not saying that it's a confirmed or reported or anything, but it's something to kind of sort of think about. Because I think it is a 3-team deal. I could, if I, looking at this, looking at the money and everything, but I'm not sure Victor Oladipo is on the table. But it is, I'm just brainstorming.
If he was on the table, I don't think he'd be going to Memphis in the deal. That's for sure.
Could be. I don't see possibly, why. But I said, it's brain just
how it doesn't. I mean, there's no. I get what I think. You're right. I think you're right on to look at it like this, though. I do think you're right to think of it as if something like that could be a 3-team deal, and that in Indiana makes sense. There's just, to me, in my mind, there's no way that Gordon Hayward would opt out without knowing that he's got a deal somewhere. There's all we talked about agents and people, rumors and people talking before they're supposed to talk and all that stuff. To me, there's no question that somebody has let Gordon Hayward know, or his representative, that money is out there. He wouldn't opt out otherwise. So the question is, where is it coming from? Indiana makes a lot of sense as a place where that could be coming from. But if that's the case, how does that work? How do you arrange that sort of thing? And I think the third team in the deal would be logical. So I think something's definitely up, because otherwise
something is amok.
Because they've already announced the Xavier Tillman trade, and he'll have an availability later on today. They've already done some of that stuff. So this one is kind of conspicuous by its silence right now. That means that they're still working on that deal. Let's just say. Something's up.
Someone said it might be the rights to Giraffe. Might be what the hang up is. So that might be the hang up, man. It might be some animal rights stuff you gotta get cleared out.
Logistics to kind of juggle through,
Yeah, that's a good point. It's fair, and I think that's you got just the shipping alone is very difficult. To literally ship him up to Boston is really tough.
Long legs in the airplane, man. You don't know how to.
I mean, FedEx does that stuff, but it's not easy. So I think that's probably what the delay is. Good, excellent point by our top of that. What is Ja Raff's cap number? Is what I want to know. We'll come back. We're going to talk to Adam Kramer. There's some numbers, including one I got to tell you about that you absolutely have to jump on. We're going to do that when we come back. Hour number 2 on the way.
The folks at Homer Skelton Hyundai want to say thank you. Thank you, Memphis, for another spectacular year. They set records, but I can understand why. You think about the product. Where else do you get a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty? That's what you get on every new car at Homer Skelton Hyundai. Oh, and thank you again for the 11th straight year, the #1 certified pre-owned car dealership in all of Memphis. It starts with that product, but then it goes to the shopper assurance. Where else do you go where you get transparent pricing, flexible test drive, take the car for a couple of days if you want, streamlined buying process? You're not going to be there all day, in and out. And then, and I have not seen this anywhere else, the 3-day worry-free exchange. You buy a new car, if you've got any buyer's remorse, you've got 3 days to change your mind. Just get on Lamar, take it into Mississippi, the first exit's Craft Road, turn left, and go see Chris True and all the gang at Homer Skelton Hyundai.
Attention foodies, there's a great new place to eat in a great restored building. South Hall Cafe is now open for breakfast, brunch, and lunch in the former Tobacco Corner. Chef Jesus Ramon is creating classics from scratch with a twist. Enjoy all your favorites, including the best cheese grits in the South, a full bar, an in-house pastry chef, catering, online ordering for curbside or delivery, and a covered patio with live music on the weekends. We're open 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. weekdays and 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. on weekends. South Hall Cafe, corner of Poplar and Mendenhall.
Kick off your New Year's weekend at the AutoZone Liberty Bowl, Thursday, December 31st at 3 o'clock. Top teams from the SEC and Big 12 will be here. We'll be following all of the required health and safety guidelines to provide you the safest conditions possible. So wear your mask and join us at the AutoZone Liberty Bowl. For tickets, call 795-7700 or go to Ticketmaster.com. The Tennessee Highway Safety Office reminds you that fans don't let fans drive drunk.
Water damage to your home or business can be an absolute nightmare. And the faster you remove the standing water, the faster you can prevent secondary damage. Landmark Construction and Emergency Services specializes in water extraction. They have been a trusted name in the Mid-South for over 20 years. They are a Memphis-based company ready to serve your needs with their 24-hour emergency response. They are always on call and will respond within an hour. They work with most insurance companies and are the official restoration contractor of the Memphis Tigers home team. Landmark Construction and Emergency Services can't prevent disasters in your home and at your business, but their water damage team will certainly respond quickly to minimize and restore the damage. Call 901-452-0390. That's 901-452-0390 or online at landmarkco.org.
All 36-month leases, $31.49 due at signing, 0 security deposit, 10,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage, $650 acquisition fee, Forte, LE 242-174, MSRP 20,505, sold, M7755-682, MSRP 20,315, K5, MG 003-199, MSRP 25,725, K900, MSRP 65,610, L60-26,907, L60-21,220, includes all rebates and incentives, PF 695, excludes tax title and license with approved credit offer valid through 11/30/2020, dealer stock only, warranty is a limited powertrain warranty, see Kia.com or retailer for details.
It's time for the Kia Holiday Sales Event and time to command the season in your new ride from Gossett Kia South on Mount Moriah. 2020 Kia Forte, just $133 a month lease. 2021 Kia Soul, only $148 a month lease. Plus 2021 Kia K5, only $189 a month lease. And they're all 36 months, $31.49 due at signing. And don't miss the 2020 Kia K900. We got it at $10,000 off MSRP. So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia, 2680 Mount Moriah or KiaMoriah.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Hi, this is Troy Five-Ash, owner of Five-Ash Roof Services. You've heard me talk about how we offer the best products, the best warranties, and the best services for years. Now let's talk about pricing. Pricing should never be the only reason you hire a contractor, but in today's world, pricing is always a consideration. So we suggest you get 2 or 3 estimates for your roof replacement from a reputable, licensed, and insured company, and then give us a call. If we can't beat your best price for a comparable roof system by more than $100, we'll give you $100. It's that simple. We are so sure we can offer you the best price, beating all other qualified companies. We will hand you $100 if we can't, and thank you for the opportunity. So give us a call. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? Make $100? Five-Ash Roof Services, a proud supporter of Tiger Athletics and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. Five-Ash Roof Services, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Five-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, W253DF Memphis, and WIVG Tunica Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Sports 56 traffic.
Still working on a crash on Lamar Avenue at American Way. Also a crash on I-240 northbound on the entry ramp from Lamar Avenue heading eastbound. Also, we have new accidents here. We have a medical emergency on Poplar Avenue at I-240. And also, we have an accident on I-40 westbound at Chambers Chapel. The left lane is blocked. So keep it right here. This is your Sports 56 traffic update.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston.
Yes, I will be good, I promise.
Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane.
That's great, man.
Now, back to Peter and Anthony.
Looking for that good stuff. Turn up on your backstroke.
Yeah. What?
I'm not so bad.
Let's go. It is hour number 2. We are here. Boy, we are going to be jam-packed. Being the same with a beautiful day. Beautiful. A little chilly outside. It's going to be nice, though. High in the high 60s into maybe touching 70 for some of you out there. Should be lovely. We got a whole lot to get to, and we'll start right out of the gate, swinging big time with our good friend Adam Kramer from Bleacher Report, from VSiN, Golden Tee, many others. He is at Kegs and Eggs on Twitter, and he joins us now, and we have to talk a lot of different things here, Kramer, because right out of the gate, before we talk football or anything else, we got to do this. I want to make sure we do it. It's Thanksgiving week, and a lot of people are staying in the house. You know, they're not going out. They're not bringing a whole bunch of folks to their house. It's going to be a more small get-together. So you're taking a turkey, and you're going to maybe have a chance to do it up a little differently or do it up right. How do you recommend folks handle the turkey situation?
One of my favorite conversations of the year, right? And I do think this is a year to do that thing if you haven't done that thing. I was talking to a friend of mine, and like she had reached out because she said, you know, I had never. She's like, I hadn't cooked a turkey in 40 years. It was always my mom doing it, but she's not going to see her mom. So what do? I don't know how many of those are out there, but as I've told you time and time again, the turkey is not won on Thanksgiving. It is won in the 24 to 48 hours prior to Thanksgiving.
We didn't win this turkey on Thanksgiving. We won this turkey on Tuesday.
That is it. So my recipe here, and we're gonna have to post this on Twitter, right? And I'll send it to you and post it on Twitter. But there's two things that I do to really bring my turkey together. The brine. Now I don't do a dry brine, but I'm going to start messing around with the dry brine. But my brine is a pound of dark brown sugar, pound of kosher salt. You use hot water and you use ice. And essentially, you need some chemical things to happen, right? I'm not going to get Bill Nye on you, but you're going to concoct these things. You're going to put it in there. Now, for me, what I like to do then is I like to add some extra. So I'm going to add some garlic, right? So you've got this big bowl of beautiful brown sugar salt. But what you're going to do then is I'm going to add some garlic. I'm going to add some celery. I'm going to add some carrots. I'm going to add a little orange to like give it a little citrusy flavor. I'm going to let that thing sit for probably 24 to 36 hours, right, in this tub. Right. When I take that thing out, I'm going to inject it, okay? Now, the injection, if you've injected food, boy, that device, the thing you use, it feels like a hostile device. It's a little intimidating, the injector at first.
It feels like you're probing.
It's a heavy-duty injector, right? So what I do, this is I think is the secret ingredient. My injection concoction is butter, like a stick of butter, about a third of a cup of bourbon, a teaspoon or two of hot sauce, garlic powder, salt, and pepper. Okay. So that sounds a little weird.
I like that.
But it adds a little bit of spice. Okay. And then I inject that thing, and then of course you need to fry your turkey, because if you don't fry your turkey or smoke your turkey, you're leading your family wrong. You're doing yourself a disservice. Fry your birds, people. Okay. That is a very quick flight into the whole turkey situation. It'll be delicious. If you're not brining the way you should, it'll change your life. It'll be a juicy bird, and you do need to fry it, though. I'm telling you, there's no reason not to at this point, and you won't blow up your house if the turkey is not if it's thawed, not frozen. You're going to be fine.
Yeah, you want to make sure it's fully thawed, though. The water. Any water, ice, plus the oil is bad. Is very, very bad situation. You do not want. You want to make sure you are fully thawed.
Agreed.
Dry. Just let's go. Let's not have a big old wet bird slopping in there. That you may have some issues there for sure. And you need to be careful. Make sure you got plenty of gloves. Make sure you've got kind of a mechanism to sort of. Hang the turkey up, and there's some different things to do. Next week, I'll tell people my solution to this whole problem. And again, I've told you before, Adam, I'm from a little bit of a different school here. I agree with you as far as the frying goes. Great, deep frying, great. Definitely do it. I'm a big fan. It's wonderful. Check it out. Smoking, can't go wrong with smoked turkey. Smoked meats in general are great.
Yeah.
So I'm never going to say anyone shouldn't do that. With a turkey, I will just say this. If you spatchcock it, if you take the old backbone out and you take some of the ribs out and you butterfly it, you open it up a little bit. Obviously, the brine is important. I'm with you on the wet brine. I have my own brine, and I'm with you. Brining is great, but then when it comes to cooking it in the oven, a high heat, if you let it dry after the brine dry in the fridge, the brine, you'll notice the skin will start to actually adhere it looks like someone vacuum sealed the skin to the turkey. It will adhere extremely tight to the turkey, which means you are ready at that point. Then you spatchcock. It should be spatchcocked. Open up, tie it up so it's kind of a smaller. You're trying to decrease the surface area of actual cooking as much as you can, so that it can go in the oven. Then you have your sausage. I make a cornbread and sausage dressing, but it's up to you. Whatever. Put that turkey on a slotted pan, and then put your dressing underneath the turkey, so that you put this entire unit of turkey plus dressing into the oven. Cook it for an hour 40 at 425. It's very hot and very quick, but that crisps the skin on the outside while keeping the bird cooked at a nice juiciness. And as it cooks, the juice drips into your dressing, which creates a beautiful turkey-inspired wonder. It's a wondrous dish that it ends up creating down below. And then you take the whole thing out, you finish your dressing, bing, bang, boom. You're good to go. Crisp skin, juicy meat. It's a beautiful thing.
Spectacular.
I'm just going to throw that out there.
Spectacular. Yeah,
if you haven't done that, and if you want to try like a non-fry situation, something you can do with your oven in your house, there is some prep work, but on the day of, it's pretty easy. It's worth checking out. I'm just going to throw that out there for you.
Excellent. And this is something we should mention. There's no wrong way to do this. Well, there is actually, but
there is.
It's bad, man.
Don't overcook your turkey, man. Don't overcook it, please. No dry turkey.
One of the most painful things I see is on Twitter when someone takes a picture of this dry, naked, pepper and saltless bird just sitting in the oven, very proud of it. Don't do that. Horrific. That turkey.
And what about the thing,
better.
Adam? When you see people cutting it and like little shavings are coming off like it's wood.
No.
You see little turkey shavings coming off. Like nope. You
just no.
I know. Dry turkey is the one thing we can't deal with. It's not. There's a wrong way to do it.
But enjoy it. It is weird, right? It's gonna be a weird year. It's a great year to really invest in the food and show people, if you don't get to see them, what you've been working on. And that would be my advice. Take advantage of that. And see, I love this holiday. So there is part of this to me that I'm kind of sad and torn on. You know what? We're going to make the most of this thing. Eat a lot of bird, make some good sides. Of course, drink some good drinks. Need lots of that flowing. Should be a good day.
I love it. All right, so we got plenty of football to break down as long as COVID doesn't jump in and stop us in all these, and it certainly could. Give me the top on your board. We'll skip right to we'll cut right to the chase here.
Sure.
Give me your top picks on the board this week. What do you like?
In terms of gambling picks, I guess.
Yeah.
By the way, I liked Tulane last night. Did you see that horrific beat? Oh my goodness! If you had the 5, you lost on a Hail Mary, and then you lost on a pick 6 in overtime. I mean, I had first half, and I'm stunned, but I'm still a little wobbly. No, I like North Carolina State against Liberty. I know that the Hugh Freeze buzz and train is rolling here, and we're very excited, understandably so. South Carolina fans think they got their coach. North Carolina State's actually a pretty good team. Good offense, move the ball a little bit. It just feels like a really good spot for them to get right. I just, again, that line is a little interesting to me. 3.5, actually up to 4, I think, in some places. So I like that. I like App State against Coastal Carolina, one of my favorite games of the week. This game in another week, because it's a pretty good week of football, even with all the cancellations.
You like them straight up? You like them?
I do. I actually like them straight up. I like them straight up. I like them. I like them with the points, 4.5, 5. But I like them on the money line there. That defense is really good. It's just a great game. And I'd say the same thing about the other Group of 5 game that I'm looking at, which is Cincinnati versus Central Florida. Now, I'm going to be on the public side of this when I say I like Cincinnati. I understand that. And you know me, I don't like being on the public side of things.
Right.
But I think Cincinnati's awesome. I don't think this is the best version or close to it we've seen of Central Florida. I think that game could be lopsided. And then my 2 favorites, if you're looking for some action tonight, Minnesota and Penn State, dumpster diving in the Big Ten. I love it. Short lines. I'm dumpster diving. I think both of those two teams are live this week, both with the points and as winners. Actually, looking at it, that Minnesota line is really kind of coming down. It was back up and down, 1.5 in some places. So I'm not alone in that.
FanDuel
seems to be some steam there.
1.5.
And then the Iowa game, I mean, that's just a crazy contrarian line, right? Penn State, who has looked awful. Iowa, who's a couple plays away from being 4-0. That's an odd game. You know where my allegiances are with Iowa, but man, there ain't no allegiances making money. And so Penn State here, I think, is going to be a good option.
There's a lot to unpack with Adam Kramer. Again, the folks at FanDuel Sportsbook, you can bet now live here in Tennessee. This month is opening up, so it's ready to go. And I got to tell you, there's another promotion. We talked about it last week. They're doing another one this week, which I God bless them. I love them. I appreciate y'all doing this. The Spread the Love promotion is back, baby. And this time it is on Tennessee and Auburn. So as you speak right now, Kramer, the line is, and Anthony, you got to get in on this, okay? Right now, because the public has pushed it. For every 250 people that bet Tennessee, they push the line up a point. So now enough people have bet Tennessee. Tennessee plus 34.5 is the line right now against Auburn. And there's still plenty to. Well, and there's still plenty to go. So it's at minus 110, which means you bet $50. The maximum $50 bet will get you $45. They're giving you $45 free dollars, basically. Like by the time this thing goes off, last week's Vandy bet went off at 86.5. Okay, so I assume that this will go off, but once people start piling on later on tonight and tomorrow morning, it's probably going to go off at somewhere in that neighborhood, which means it's just free money. And whatever you bet it at now, you will get the end of it. So if you bet it at, I bet it at 17, and it's up to 34 now, 34.5. It'll be at whatever it is, and you get at the final thing. So you don't get when you jump in. You get whatever it is at the very end. It is absolutely free money with FanDuel Sportsbook, or as close to it as you can possibly get. So please, if you have not downloaded the app, download it. Use promo code BIGHEAD, because I have a giant dome. Use promo code BIGHEAD and jump on this thing. You will, Kramer, it's easy to remember because I do have a ridiculous giant head. So use promo code BIGHEAD and get that. That first bet is absolutely risk-free, up to $1,000. If it doesn't work out, you get it back in site credit. The only deal is you got to use that site credit within a week, and there's some terms apply, but otherwise it's good to go. So it's risk-free. Enjoy it. You got to be in Tennessee. Got a problem gambling? Call 1-800-889-9789. Otherwise, you're good to go. You're set and roll it up. Now, in that game itself, do we see the implosion continue, or is another weird thing with Auburn where Tennessee somehow finds itself and Auburn stubs its toe?
If you would have told me that this point spread would have been this, 6 to 7 weeks ago, I would have been shocked, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting. These teams have both taken turns. By the way, 34 points is solid. I think that thing. You just need a few more for comfort, just in case.
It's gonna be a lot more. It'll be a lot more, Adam, because every 250 that bet, it'll end up in. I bet you it'll end up at least in the 50s and maybe way more than that.
I probably I don't think I want anything to do with this game, but I will say I'm inclined to take those points. It just seems like too much, and I'm not yes, I have concerns over Tennessee. I get concerns over Auburn too, right? I mean, yes, the LSU win was solid, and really the Ole Miss win, not too bad. Auburn, by the way, has had a ton of help from the officials this year, as we know, which has kind of helped their season out tremendously when you look at the overall record. But I don't know. I know physically kind of where Tennessee is right now, and it's okay. Emotionally, I don't know what the situation is heading into this game because it's been kind of a weird year, and that's being polite. So it's probably a stay away for me, but yeah, lost 4 in a row, lost 3-4 in a row against the spread, 4 in a row and against the spread. It's not been particularly good. It's not that just they're losing. They're losing spectacularly.
Saying you have a game that you'd like to jump.
Yeah, what's the game I was looking at? The 3 versus 9 game. No, seriously.
Oh, Ohio State?
Yeah.
Ohio State.
Big line. Big number. You're getting the number 9 team in the country and getting 20 points. I don't really feel great about that either, though. I'll be honest.
No, I don't either. Yeah.
You know, you look at who Indiana's played. Now, look, I'm not ripping Indiana. That's a good team and a great story. Teams they've played are combined 3-13. Okay, not great. That Penn State win, as exciting as it was, feels a little bit differently now. But so you beat Michigan. What does that mean? Well, they're a tire.
It's just amazing that it's Penn State, Michigan, and Michigan State, and that's what you're saying. Well, they haven't played anybody, and it's true. And you're right; they haven't played anybody. That's crazy.
But this is the issue I have with the Wisconsin game too. Wisconsin Northwestern is Wisconsin good or is Michigan just that bad? And the answer is probably just yes. So I think in a game like this, now Indiana has made it weird for teams like this before. Like this is a vintage game. Now usually it's at Indiana, which changes things a bit. Justin Fields this year has more touchdowns than incompletions right now. So we know what we're dealing with, right? Okay, and as a Jets fan, I'm a Jets fan, a very sad one. I've had my sights set on Trevor Lawrence.
You don't have to say that. Just in general. Yeah, that's redundant.
Yes, it is.
Sad
true.
Jets fan is redundant. You don't have to say that.
Yes, but I got to say, man, Justin Fields looks like a refined, absolute monster of a football player. I don't think this.
Are you saying you take him over Trevor Lawrence?
No, I'm saying I'm at least opening up my eyes to fully vet the situation. And from what I've seen, he looks ridiculous. I mean, he looks absolutely fantastic. I like Indiana a lot, and this may be shame on me for saying, and I've bet against Indiana a couple times this year. I bet against them against Michigan, didn't go well. Bet against them against Michigan State because that line felt a little phony at 7, didn't go well. Probably going to do it again. I think it's going to go better, but who knows, man? Indiana, it's just maybe their year.
I kind of do like though. First half, Ohio State minus 10.5 first half. I think there could be that kind of culture shock of like, this is actually a really good team that we're playing, and we get kind of blasted out of the water early. I kind of think that's a possibility.
One concern for Ohio State, the defense has not looked great. Right? Even against Rutgers, that they were giving up some points. And Rutgers had some crazy play calls. Like their defense has not been world class. If I'm going to look at I think the over here feels like a really interesting bet. It's come up from 64.5 to 66.5. Ohio State's going to do their part. They're going to get 40, at least, right? So I think this is that could be an interesting one potentially.
I think I'm going to take a first half on this one. I think I'm just going to go first half. I think there's a chance that they kind of come out and they're up, like a 24-10 first half kind of score, and then Indiana kind of hang in there, and I think that line's going to be right. It's going to be right on that number, but I think they win by like 17 or somewhere in that neighborhood. So, but the first half I feel a little bit better on. I'm gonna go ahead and place. I'm betting live on the air. This is amazing. It feels very freeing, Adam, to just bet live on the air as I'm talking to you right now.
That is fantastic.
I hope so many of our listeners are doing the same thing. Again, a reminder: if you are anywhere around, because geographically, Adam, we reach Mississippi, we reach Arkansas, Missouri, Kentucky, on a particularly nice weather day. You can get all the way up there. So, any of you folks that are in any of those surrounding states, or if you're listening to us on the internet, if you can just get yourself to Tennessee. Geographically, just get your cell phone over the border. You can bet. It doesn't matter where you live. It just matters where your phone is. So you can bet with us if you can find a way to just kind of get it over the border. So a little pro tip there for those of you that are driving around in North Mississippi. Just drive up a little further north and go ahead and place your wagers and then drive right back down and bing, bang, boom. Perfectly legal, perfectly acceptable. It's the way that it should be. So a little heads up there for everybody. Kramer, your picks are always lucrative. You've had a good year so far. Things hopefully will continue in that vein. And again, I look forward to talking to you after the Thanksgiving break. And Lord knows what it's going to look like by the time we talk again. But I hope you have a good one, buddy. Be safe, and we'll talk again soon.
Sounds good, guys. Take care. Have a good one.
All right. He's our pal, Adam Kramer. He's got recipes for us. He's got tips. He's got all of this joining us as he does every time. Hope you Kramer knows how to cook. Saying I can tell you that.
Yeah, I was blown away by you guys' turkey conversation.
He's got tremendous recipes. The guy's a grill machine. Tailgates, back in the day when we could tailgate, I remember those days. He can get your tailgate off to an insane start. The other thing you need to see, Zane, is that his yard. He's like a groundskeeper at like a golf course level of. He's that level of intricacy with his grass. It's unreal. I mean, I feel like an idiot. Like when I talk about what I'm doing in my yard, because this guy is
a monster.
He's on a different planet than everybody else. So when we come back, we're going to talk to J. Kyle Mann, our buddy from The Ringer. We talked to him earlier this week before the draft. Now the draft is in the books. We're going to get his thoughts on the top of the draft, where guys went, and then what the Grizzlies did. Because I know I could tell you, he reached out to me and was very impressed. So I thought we should share that with everybody. We'll do that when we return. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1, 98.5.
Sports Time with Wallow and Stats. Weekdays from 3 to 6 on Sports 56, 98.5 FM and 96.1 FM.
Hey, I heard that you just got a new car.
Yes, I sure did, and I could not believe how simple it was.
Really? Tell me what happened.
I bought my car at Cars Inc. They are family owned, and the choices of cars were the best I've ever seen. They even said they could price match with anyone and help me with whatever financing I needed.
Wow, it does sound like they know what they are doing.
Their family has been in the car business for over 30 years, and they're excited about being in Memphis.
Where are they?
5095 Cummington Way, and their phone number is 901-623-7180.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Chris Price here for Brian Elder Roofing. The storms we've had over the past several months have been devastating to our communities. The rainy season is ahead. You may have not even noticed the dripping in your attic, water stains throughout your home, or even worse, mold and mildew. Please call Brian Elder Roofing and we will send out our project managers to assess any damage. We will not try to sell you a roof if all you need is a repair. We will measure your roof from outer space. 0% for 60 months, even no payments till 2022 are available with approved credit. If you've noticed missing shingles, water stains, leaks in your roof, call us before you call your insurance company at 867-0303. That's 867-0303, and we will provide a free, thorough inspection of your roof's condition.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Memphis, it's official. Crab Kings is where it's at. The best seafood with 7 flavors to choose from. Try the shrimp and chicken pasta. Now available is the salmon and fried lobster pasta. Snow crab, king crab, dungeons and more. Fish platter, $9.99. Lobster tail, $10.99. Jumbo wings, 99 cents each. Download the app or search Crab Kings on Google. Visit us at crabkingstn.com. Crab Kings Seafood and Pasta, Memphis favorites. Memphis, it's official. Crab Kings is where it's at. The best seafood with 7 flavors to choose from. Try the shrimp and chicken pasta. Now available is the salmon and fried lobster pasta. Snow crab, king crab, dungeons and more. Fish platter, $9.99. Lobster tail, $10.99. Jumbo wings, 99 cents each. Download the app or search Crab Kings on Google. Visit us at crabkingstn.com. Crab Kings Seafood and Pasta, Memphis favorites.
If you're going on vacation, making a college campus visit, or if business takes you out of town, there's just no better place to board your dog than Barks and Recreation, 965 Reddick Cove between Bud Davis Cadillac and the Blue Plate Cafe in East Memphis. Boarding, daycare, grooming, we have the best of everything at Barks. Indoor-outdoor kennels so your family member can go in and out as they please. Indoor and outdoor play areas. 4 walks a day, group play, and individual attention from the best staff in the Mid-South, which includes an overnight staff to ensure the safety and comfort of your pet 24 hours a day. All reasons to choose Barks and Recreation above all other boarding and daycare facilities. BarksDaycare.com or 509-0909. Check us out and make your reservations now at BarksDaycare.com. If your dog could speak, he'd say Barks.
Looking for a new ride to celebrate the end of 2020? We Gossett at Gossett Kia's holiday sales event. Command the season and you'll find what you want, need, and love at Gossett Kia on Covington Pike. 2020 Kia Forte $133 a month lease. 2021 Kia Soul $148 a month lease. Plus 2021 Kia K5 $189 per month lease. All 36 months, $3149 due at signing. And don't miss 2020 Kia K900 We Gossett at $10,000 off MSRP. You want it? We Gossett at Gossett Kia 1900 Covington Pike or shop 24/7 KiaCovingtonPike.com. Ask for Bobby J. He'll put you in a new Kia today. All 36-month leases, $3149 due at signing. 0 security deposit, 10,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage, $650 acquisition fee. Forte LE 242-174, MSRP $20,505. Sold M7755-682, MSRP $20,315. K5 MG 003-199, MSRP $25,725. K900 MSRP $65,610. L60-26907, L60-21-220. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF $695 excludes tax on license with approved credit offer valid through 11/30/2020. Dealer stock only. Warranty is a limited powertrain warranty. See Kia.com or retailer for details.
Hi, this is Rob Brown. Join us every Saturday morning on Sports 56 WHBQ from 8 to 10 a.m. and 96.1 FM and the new FM 98.5. We'll be covering the Memphis Tigers, the SEC, college football, college basketball, college baseball. We'll look into recruiting. We'll have guests from around the country with the latest news, the most knowledgeable people out there, the coaches, the players, the people who play the games. Don't forget to join us on the sidelines. Sports 56, 96.1, and the new FM 98.5.
Sports 56 traffic.
Still dealing with a medical emergency on Poplar Avenue at I-240. Also dealing with a crash on I-40 westbound at Chambers Chapel. Left lane is blocked. New accidents here, both on Shelby Drive at Chulahoma Road, and Shelby Drive at Getwell Road. And also have a crash on the ramp from I-40 westbound looping onto Walnut Grove. That's a crash on the ramp of I-40 westbound, I-240 westbound looping onto Walnut Grove. And that is your Sports 56 traffic update.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston.
Yes, I will be good, I promise.
Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane.
That's great, man.
Now, back to Peter and Anthony.
All right, we got so much to do. Pete and Sam with you. Hour number 2, Funky Friday. Joining us now. Back with us. I had to bring him back after a busy week. Draft is in the books. J. Kyle Mann from The Ringer. What's up, Kyle? How are you, bud?
Good. How are you doing?
Man, doing good. You were almost, I don't know if I can use the word gushing, but almost gushing over the Grizzlies draft night antics. And although things are not quite official with Desmond Bane because they're working on some bigger deal with the Celtics, and who knows how that's all going to play out. But when it's all said and done, it'll be Desmond Bane, Xavier Tillman, Killian Tilly, Sean McDermott, and even Jaleel Tripp from Pacific. What did you make of the whole class?
I mean, it's just kind of typical stuff. Their reputation just continues to roll on as just they're threading the needle. We were talking about this on the Ringer draft special that we did yesterday. It's just that we're in an age where, thinking has become sort of homogenized, so you have to really be creative to try to find value in different places, and Memphis just repeatedly does that. Draft Twitter seems to love it because there seems to be a lot of overlap between their favorite guys, and it's really hilarious to witness all that. Maybe even a little bit of insinuation of credit. I don't know. I don't want to accuse anybody. But
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's just hilarious. But, I mean, great class, man. I really love it, yeah.
When you look, go ahead, bro.
Oh, go. No, saying you got it. You're good.
When you look at a guy like Tillman, I'm really intrigued about the whole Tillman situation. We know on the surface that Bane is a guy that can knock down shots at a high level, and possibly with a reduced role with the Grizzlies, where he, could just specialize on being a knockdown shooter. I expect that to increase. But looking at a guy like Tillman, I'm intrigued by him possibly being a center in the NBA, playing besides Jaren Jackson. And, with them kind of switching, their roles as far as offensively, defensively. But I could see him being a 5 in the NBA. Do you agree?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've seen that if you have the right thing about Tillman is measurement. Like he's got the arms and the hands to sort of. Now he's not like a super athlete, but he's like positionally, schematically, probably. A lot of people think he was the best team defender as far as bigs go in the country this past year. I mean, he was great last year too. It was just he was one of those guys for Tom Izzo. Like the moment he couldn't keep him off the floor because once he was on there, it was like he was a gamer. He picked things up fast. He's just, he's he's a great pick and roll partner. I think he'll be fun with Morant there, just to give him another partner to work with. I actually don't think the shooting is really that bad at all. Some of his numbers weren't the best this past year, but I think he's coming along on that front. But I mean, you're just adding another mature player that I'm interested to see what kind of shape he can get in. I think he can get in even better shape. So absolutely, I think that he can play some 5.
Well, anytime you can get a guy like that who fits so many of the criteria, and he's a grown-up. He's got 2 kids. He's married. He was Jared Jackson Jr. was at his wedding. They are extremely tight. Like anytime you can do that, in addition to getting a guy that fits your criteria just as a player, I think you kind of have to do that. It's pretty impressive to see. Bane, the discussion about Desmond Bane. I think everyone's still a little surprised that he fell to the 30 range. Not to say that he was going to be like a lottery pick, but people kind of, I don't know. It's weird to me, man, because I think we sat here and we watched what kind of players made major impacts in the postseason this year, and they're the kind of players that can shoot, physically tough players. People that can integrate into various teams effectively and do different things as needed. All that stuff just seemed like, the Heat in particular, but other teams, you could see those guys flourishing. And here's a guy like Bane who just kind of fits all those criteria, and he sort of slips down into the 30 spot. Is it just that negative wingspan that's the issue there for him? Why wasn't he a little bit higher in some people's minds?
Yeah, that was some of the questions that I heard from people were things like that. Like, is he going to be able to, negate disadvantages with his wingspan? Because a lot of these guys that are smaller and stouter, have long arms. Like we were talking about, that's the kind of deal with Tillman. Mm-hmm. He has huge hands too. But with Bane, Bane is the stereotypical kind of guy that you would want to put in that Morey offense. Is what I've told everybody. It's just he's got, he's the thing I really love about Bane is, there were a bunch of possessions this past year where he would, track a ball handler. He's built like a truck. So you can't drive through his chest. He's another mature player. That's another thing. But then also, he would just fly around. He could switch onto a roller and just you're running into a wall. It's sort of that Grant Williams thing, similar to that. And also what I really love is just he has no lost torque in his shot mechanics at all. He is really, really efficient. Something I paid attention to was in late clock situations. If he got caught in a situation where he was far from the basket and maybe not ready to shoot, he could just pull up on a dime with full power and shoot with touch from range. I love Bane. I think that we were maybe in this class, I think this was prone to happen. He was the Bane hype was getting so high that where he was coming up to I was hearing people talk about top 10. I was I don't know if he's that. Of course, from year to year, you label people with top 10, top 20, top 5. It's not the same every year like we always talk about. But, Bane's, you're adding shooting, you're adding another team defender. He's a great fit for Memphis. Big fan.
Jay, when you see a guy like Isaiah Joe, who was a guy who was getting those top 10 nods when the season first started, early in the mocks and things like that, outside of his injury, which we all understand, why do you think a guy like that falls so low in the draft?
That one's hard to say. I know that there were some people that were wondering about his kind of ball control in space. I know his efficiency dipped a little bit this past year because his attempts went up. I know that. I don't know. It's interesting. I think people just get a little, he was a little under the radar last year. People start leaning into it a little bit, trying to be ahead of the curve when they're talking about the draft and things like that, or, buzz. and then we start paying a little more attention. People start nitpicking you, and that that kind of stuff happens a lot. We see it even in shorter situations like Wiseman. He barely did anything, and people just started nitpicking him to death. But yeah, that's a tough call. I mean, he was the Sixers, right? I'm pretty positive he ended up with the Sixers.
Right.
Isaiah Joe?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I mean, I like that fit there. Yeah.
Well, and it is the more we look at it, the more it is about fit. And so many teams, you can make it work. I think you kind of talked a little bit about the draft Twitter and kind of the way that it all kind of comes together. It feels to me like, whether it's a coincidence or not, there are a lot of people that have started in draft Twitter who have made their way into front offices in various places, doing research and that kind of thing. Maybe that's part of it. But it seems to me that teams are smarter maybe in the draft, or I don't see a lot of just egregious disasters the way we used to see, like some teams just like, what are you guys doing? Even a pick like Jalen Smith, that's a little bit weird from the Suns at 10. You can kind of talk yourself into it based on what they're trying to do with it. Do you think we're getting smarter about this process?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, this is something that I was kind of talking with some of my coworkers about yesterday, is that, like, when the draft was done and I was, kind of combing back over the board and just going piece by piece, you're absolutely right. Like, I was looking at it and I was like, I'm not mad at anything. I was like, I mean, there are a couple guys that climbed a little higher than I would have thought. Like, I thought Stewart probably could have been gotten maybe a little, but that was their guy. They got him. I mean, I guess that's really the explanation for those types of things. I mean, like I said, I love Emmanuel Quickley. I thought he climbed a little bit. I assume that's Kenny Payne, the former Kentucky assistant that nabbed him there. But yeah, generally, I think so. I think maybe it's just that there are fewer. I've had people tell me this, that there are GMs that complain that there aren't any there are fewer dumb GMs to use as a pawn in whatever scheme you're doing, and so that's a real thing. I mean, the league is smarter, and I think they've embraced data, and that movement has been central to that too. Yeah, I can't think of anything that I was like really just furious at, and I think if you go back in, I think, and you just like painstakingly go piece by piece, but also another factor in this draft, I think, is that there weren't a ton of like heavy upside plays to be made. Mm-hmm. Like, there weren't a lot of guys that could like really, really shift, the future of your franchise. There are a lot of guys that are going to help. So I think that's why you kind of ended up looking at the board and being like, okay. Like, I think that's kind of why that happened.
Jay, real fast, I just put both of these questions together. What are your thoughts on Killian Tillie, the Grizzlies picking him up as a two-way player? And also, name some guys that you think may have, with the changes, the way the whole draft analysis worked as far as the no workouts and, had things being virtual, things like that. Name guys that you think were helped by that, and guys that you think were hurt by those changes.
Well, first on Tillie, I mean, that's an amazing two-way pickup. Honestly, I thought somebody was going to grab him. I thought for sure the Pelicans would think he was a good fit. You're adding to add a stretch big of his quality. I think he has, talking about upside, maybe not star upside, but like contributor upside, big time. That's a great pickup, especially as a two-way. And guys that, the in-person thing is maybe guys that don't interview as well. I could see it hurting them. Getting in and just working out with people. I can't speak to situationally. I know some people still did get together. I heard a lot of people. It's interesting how much we scrutinize some of the personalities at the top of this draft. I don't really know that I can remember one to this extent, especially, with LaMelo, Edwards, and Wiseman. It seemed like if those guys had different personalities, the discussion would have been different. Yeah, I think on that level, it those people that had questions on that level got affected the most, in my opinion.
It was the Tillie pickup, I think, was really a potentially intriguing one, and I think as we talked about this yesterday, but I think it's a really good example of working on the edges, which is something the Grizzlies front office over the last 2 years has shown that they are getting really good at. They just kind of work the margins. This year, you have to remember that two-way players are kind of almost like regular season. They're almost like regular roster players because the two-way rules are being loosened due to COVID and the idea that the rosters are probably going to have to be a little more flexible this year. We're still kind of unclear about what the G League season is even going to look like. So teams can play two-way players, but they're really going to be able to have almost no significant restrictions on them. Like last year, it was only 45 days that you could spend with the big league team. This year, that is pretty much non-existent. So Killian Tillie is almost a regular roster member, even as a two-way player, which may well have gone into some of the negotiation with him because the end of the second round is almost a negotiation. Guys don't necessarily want to be drafted at the end of the second round. They'd rather negotiate as an unrestricted as an undrafted free agent. Sometimes you can get a better deal doing it that way. So I think that's an example to me of how you work the margins a little bit and get an extra value second-round pick out of a guy that ends up being undrafted.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's going to give them some more flexibility to play around and stuff too. But yeah, Tillie's going to be. I'm surprised he didn't go higher. I really am. But you're absolutely right about guys having more leverage there as an undrafted player. I agree. The
injuries too with Tillie is that something that you would be a little. He's had a lot of little things here and there. He missed 40 or so games in his college career. Is that kind of a knock too?
Well, it seems like the Grizzlies have been willing to kind of take a gamble. That's a place where you can play. You can work in the margins. For his specific injuries, in terms of their lasting, lingering quality, I'm not 100% sure. I'm working on my medical degree. I haven't gotten it yet, but I would say. Yeah, I mean, I was curious about what's the situation with Jontay Porter?
Yeah, well, I mean, they signed him. They took a little bit of that the flyer on him last year, right around the time COVID hit. Really, with the idea that it was going to be for this year, but they also kept it where it was open ended and a team option, so that in case something happened, whether it was flare ups with his injuries or other roster moves. They had some flexibility there. I have to say it probably doesn't look good for him. Basically, with the Tillie situation, they got a free, lengthy look at him in the bubble. He went down with them in the bubble and worked out and played in their inter squads and all that stuff. So they got a pretty good look at him. He was reasonably healthy during that situation. So it may well be that the numbers just kind of squeeze him out, honestly, which would be unfortunate. But it's a tough situation for him. And, of course, they could also make – there are 2 or 3 moves that are being discussed and, rumors, and the Grizzlies may well be active. So I'm not going to say it's a done deal yet. But I don't know. To me, it doesn't looks a little ominous for him based on the numbers that we see. The last thing, why did Tyrese Halliburton fall? What happened there?
Man, I have no idea. I really don't understand that. I don't know what you could really – I mean, there are people that were sort of skeptical about his individual offense, but I don't really agree with that one at all. I mean, he's the type of guy that you don't. The whole lure of Halliburton is that you don't have to. He doesn't have to have a high usage rate to have a big impact on your offense. Right. So him next to Fox that's an unbelievable win for Sacramento, in my opinion, because they really work and. Their skill sets will work in synergy together. But, I mean, there are teams that were, in the top 10 that I thought could have used him. To be honest, man, I don't understand that one. He was one of my favorite guys in the draft, if not my favorite. I think he's going to play in the league for a long time.
Sacramento is one of those teams that used to be the punching bag for a lot of other trades and draft night shenanigans, and they had a very smart draft. Monty McNair did a really good job as the new GM of the Kings. So kudos to him. Kudos to you. Thanks for jumping on again, man. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it again on a more regular basis because we love hearing from you, man. Keep up the great work. Follow him at JKyleMan. Videos like you wouldn't believe, breakdowns, all kinds of stuff with the Ringer. He's killing it. Keep doing a great job, buddy. Thanks so much for jumping on for us again.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Always a fun chat with J. Kyle Mann when we come back. Some college football news, including a look at what's going to happen tomorrow for the Tigers, and we'll talk to Kari Thompson coming up at 9 o'clock. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1, 98.5.
Memphis Tiger fans, catch the Blue and Gray Show with John Stacey and Drew Barrett, Sunday nights from 5 till 7, right here on Sports 56, 98.5, and 96.1.
The Black Friday sales event is on at Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat on Covington Pike, and we're going to blow you away with what you save. 2020 Jeep Renegade Latitude 4-wheel drive IIHS top safety pick. We Gossett at $20,736 or $259 a month. Or power up your game in a 2020 Dodge Charger, $24,320 or $299 a month. And get rammed off in a 2020 Ram 1500 Tradesman Crew Cab 4x2, $29,656 or $396 a month. And 2020 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo 4x2, $29,878 or $398 a month. Drive past the rest. Come to the best. Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat 1901 Covington Pike. Online, GossettMotorCars.net.
If you want it, we Gossett at Gossett Motor Cars.
All must finance through Chrysler. 3,500 cash down, 75 months at 4.11 APR. Renegade LPM 02132, MSRP 26,580. Charger LH 167,053, MSRP 31,490. Tradesman LG 293,329, MSRP 37,855. Cherokee LC 403,192, MSRP 35,495. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695 excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 11/30/2020 with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
When you are in need of quality jeans, shirts, and boots, think Frontier Western Store in Olive Branch. Frontier has thousands of square feet of merchandise at everyday low prices. Tons of jeans by Carhartt, Wrangler, and Ariat. Whether you're after classic denim jeans, dungarees, or work pants, you'll find it among Frontier's amazing selection of stylish modern fits. Flame-retardant jeans and shirts now available as well. Colder weather is on the way and Frontier is prepared with overalls, coats, and fleece jackets. Hundreds of jackets and coats in stock by Ariat. Inventory may be scarce this year, so come in today to grab yours while it's in stock. Don't forget the boots. Frontier boasts dozens and dozens of styles of boots. Work, dress, or play, come try on all the latest boot trends, as well as proven classics, Ariat, Durango, Dan Post, and many, many more. You are guaranteed to find your next favorite pair at Frontier. Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, or shop online 24/7 at frontierwesternstore.com. Family owned and operated since 1967.
You're scrambling around. You need a haircut. Where you gonna go? I got a place that has 15 locations. I've got a place where details matter. I've got a place that can be invigorating and relaxing at the same time. You know what it is. It's Supercuts. Every haircut ends with the signature hot towel finish. Every haircut matters. When you're getting ready, you go into Supercuts. The stylist will pay attention to every detail. So you get the haircut you want, and of course, you're going to finish with that signature hot towel. You walk out clean, sharp, and not just ready, but super ready. And you might want to ask that hairstylist about what the Tea Tree experience is. One part invigorating, one part relaxing. The Tea Tree experience is something you need to try. 15 locations. I mentioned that, didn't I? All you've got to do is go to supercuts.com. You'll find the one nearest to you. Get super ready at Supercuts.
Buy your next car or truck at Streamline Auto Smart. Your next smart decision. All credit welcome. Drive off in your new low-mileage pre-owned car or truck. From low-end cars to the most luxurious sports car. Ask about the 48-hour vehicle locator. Let Streamline Auto Smart do the looking for you. Close your deal within 1 hour. No waiting. It's quick and easy at Streamline Auto Smart. Your next smart decision. 2558 Mount Moriah. Call Streamline Auto Smart 901-235-8845. Your next smart decision.
Hey, sports fans, you already know about the great steaks at the Butcher Shop Steakhouse, a Memphis tradition since 1981. They specialize in hand-cut aged beef right over that hickory charcoal. But did you know the Butcher Shop also has great seafood items, from fresh Atlantic salmon with dill sauce, pan-seared red snapper with sautéed shrimp and Cajun cream sauce, Canadian cold water lobster tails, crab stuffed shrimp, homemade lump crab cakes, and a whole lot more. Oh, and don't forget the Fresh Burger Fridays for only $8.95. Come in, enjoy a fantastic dinner at the Butcher Shop. If you need a great private party, the Butcher Shop is your place. 6 different private rooms, seating from 12 to 250, all equipped with audio-visual. Rehearsals, business dinners, luncheon, weddings. You call the Butcher Shop at 901-757-4244. Or you can visit the website at butchershop.com. Just drop in, 107 South Germantown Parkway.
All 36-month leases, $31.49 due at signing, 0 security deposit, 10,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage, $650 acquisition fee, Forte, LE 242,174, MSRP 20,505, sold, M7755, 682, MSRP 20,315, K5, MG 003,199, MSRP 25,725, K900, MSRP 65,610, L60 26,907, L60 21,220, includes all rebates and incentives, PF 695, excludes tax title and license with approved credit offer valid through 11/30/2020, dealer stock only, warranty is a limited powertrain warranty, see Kia.com or retailer. It's time for the Kia Holiday Sales Event and time to command the season in your new ride from Gossett Kia South on Mount Moriah. 2020 Kia Forte, just $133 a month lease. 2021 Kia Soul, only $148 a month lease. Plus 2021 Kia K5, only $189 a month lease. And they're all 36 months, $31.49 due at signing. And don't miss the 2020 Kia K900, we Gossett at $10,000 off MSRP. So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia, 2680 Mount Moriah or KiaMoriah.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston.
Yes, I will be good, I promise.
Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane.
That's great, man.
Now, back to Peter and Anthony.
Myles Garrett apparently on the COVID list now. So you can throw that in the mix. Current sack leader in the NFL. He's on the old COVID list. Whoops-a-daisy. He won't play on Sunday against the Eagles.
Crucial.
Oh, man. Myles Garrett. Join the it's just a lot, man. It's a lot. It's every day. It's been every day now in sports where we just kind of wait for the COVID announcement, like which game's going to be canceled, which players got it, which coach has got it. This morning Manny Diaz, Miami's coach, has announced he's got COVID, so they're playing Wake Forest. He's going to have to coach virtually and not be able to communicate during the game. Just kind of one of those deals. Like I said, everyone you're sort of waiting for, and you're assuming that it's going to happen, and it probably is. Also, a little news this morning from Penn State. It's gone from bad to worse for James Franklin. Awful season, really tough for him. And then on top of that, now reports are from ESPN.com, John Barr, that he told a player not to talk to police following a fight with a star linebacker in a 2018 incident that involved punching, choking, and a knife being pulled. The accusation by now former Penn State defensive back Isaiah Humphries is contained in a draft report that was part of a Title IX inquiry into sexual assault allegations in the locker room. Humphries told investigators that after his fight with linebacker Micah Parsons, he met with Franklin in the coach's car outside the football building. The investigator wrote, Mr. Humphries said that Coach Franklin came and said, don't talk to the police because Micah is a starting player and makes money, so if he gets in trouble, he's gone.
Sounds like good
advice.
That's
the quote from the investigator. So that's not good. In a statement to ESPN, the Penn State spokesperson said Franklin has made it clear that he did not instruct Mr. Humphries to avoid contacting authorities. We believe the claims have no merit and will continue to defend him vigorously. Woo! Okay. So there you go.
There
you
it
got
is.
Sexual assault allegations. You got James Franklin reportedly.
Come on, man. You can't be going to the police,
cops.
man. Come on.
Snitches get stitches.
Yeah.
Approach to coaching. Oh, it's tough, and then he's separated from his family in the bubble. It's a whole thing, man. It's been a rough go for James Franklin. And he's only making $11 gajillion to make up for it. So
yeah,
hard time. It's gonna be tough. Hard times, daddy. Hard times potentially for Kari Thompson, the Celtics. We got to talk about this potential trade. What's going to happen? Because there's plenty yet to get to. Plus, preps tonight. Playoffs continue in the football side, basketball side. Still, it's going on in Mississippi, and we're working the details here in Tennessee. So all of that is coming up in hour number 3. Stick around.
I want to do some bragging rights. Hey, I was just the other day overhearing a conversation with Big Mike, the manager of DeSoto Auto Sales. They've got people buying cars all over the country. North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Arkansas, Texas. People from all over the country buy cars at DeSoto Auto Sales in Olive Branch, Mississippi. Why? DeSoto Auto Sales has the most stringent car inspection in America. They get it right the first time. Quality and low mileage. Factory warranty on most vehicles. My favorite part is the people who work there. Big Mike, all the employees are professional, friendly, and go that extra mile. Expect as you walk in the door, you're treated like family. DeSoto Auto Sales understands your time matters. We can help you find your dream car and get all the paperwork finished in less than an hour. Come see us at DeSoto Auto Sales and be part of our family. Have a great buying experience every time. 662-890-7184.
Spend the holidays at home this year with a little help from Family Leisure. Family Leisure has so many spas in stock and hundreds more on order. Now's your time to really save big. Huge savings on pool tables, game tables, arcades, massage chairs, and a whole lot more. Buy a pool now and save the 2021 price increase. Plus, you'll get early installation scheduling. The Holidays at Home sale happening now at Family Leisure, Whidden Road at I-40, where family and fun come together for the holidays.
What can help you take advantage of today's low mortgage rates and save money? Rocket can. You could save hundreds of dollars every month by refinancing with Rocket Mortgage at today's near historic low rates. If your current rate is over 4%, you could lower your payment by over $150 a month, saving thousands in interest every year. Call us today at 8338-ROCKET or go to rocketmortgage.com.
Savings are based on Quicken Loans, internal data. Points and fees may apply. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. And NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Number 3030.
Swing into Edwin Watts Golf Shops this holiday season for the hottest gifts from Bushnell Golf. Featuring the Tour V5 and Tour V5 Shift rangefinders, featuring Pin Seeker with visual jolt and bike magnetic cart mount, and featuring this season's #1 gift from Bushnell, the Wingman, the world's first Bluetooth speaker with audible GPS distances. Come into Edwin Watts Golf Shops and get your Bushnell today. Edwin Watts Golf Shops, your holiday headquarters since 1968, and shop online at worldwidegolfshops.com.
Time to break up with disappointing breakfast and make it your X-Fist. Cause Wendy's has your new breakfast love. We're talking a hand-cracked egg on every sandwich, always crispy oven-baked bacon, all coming together to make the Breakfast Baconator. That's right, a Baconator for breakfast. So go tell the world you're with Wendy's breakfast now. And hurry into Wendy's for the breakfast of your dreams today. We got you.
At participating U.S. Wendy's.
Hi, folks. Good news for bargain hunters and bandits from the Chevy Sheriff in Collierville. It's Western Trading Days at Sunrise Chevy. Over 500 Chevys and used cars in stock just in time for the Sunrise Low Price Rodeo. Factory rebates up to $7,500. Sunrise discounts high as $8,000. And don't forget, Sunrise specializes in secondary financing. Need a good body shop? Bring it to Sunrise. We work on all makes and models. Remember, you can bring your Chevy to Sunrise for service no matter where you bought it. Buy American and buy from Sunrise. Find new roads to the Sunrise Chevy Ranch. 385 in Houston Levy and Collierville. Chevys cost less at Sunrise, partner.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, W253DF Memphis, and WIVG Tunica Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Sports 56 traffic.
Still working 2 accidents on Shelby Drive at Tullahoma Road and also Shelby Drive at Getwell Road. Also still working an accident on the ramp from I-240 westbound looping onto Walnut Grove. And also we have a road closure here on Highland Street between Summer Avenue and Tutwiler Street. That's Highland Street between Summer Avenue and Tutwiler. We have a road closure there. And that is your Sports 56 traffic update.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston.
Yes, I will be good, I promise.
Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane.
That's great, man.
This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis. Now, back to Peter and Anthony.
It's like candy. I can feel it when you walk. Even when you talk, it takes over me. Yes, I'm dandy. I wanna know, can you feel it too? Just like I do.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's the
Hour number 3 is here, presented by our friends at Acura of Memphis on a Funky Friday. Peter, he's saying Zach on the 1s and 2s. Final hour of the week. Beautiful. Beautiful day.
Peter, did you watch the Versus battle yesterday?
No, I saw the discussion about the Versus battle, but I didn't have a chance to actually watch it.
I'm so
I
out
heard
of the
it was good. I heard it was good.
People made much bigger of a deal. I thought it happened a week ago. The way people were talking about it, I didn't know that it actually happened. I thought it was something. The way I saw people talking about it on Facebook, I thought it was happening like that night when I first saw people talking about it. Because I've never seen. I haven't seen this many people talking about a Versus battle. Like seriously, like this one has been.
It's been a while. It's been a while since we've seen one like this. Yeah,
it's a
man,
culture phenomenon. Man.
I'm out, man. I'm out. I'd said this before. I'm out on Versus battles. I don't get it. They were cool during the lockdown. Like when we had the stay at home order. Hey, we get look at this live entertainment featuring our favorite artists. It was cool, but at this point, I'm like, nah, man. I already just wait on the concert, man. Like I don't get it. Like it's, and then it's so relative. Like people say, well, Jeezy won. Well, I think Gucci won. It's because you're a fan of Jeezy. You're a fan of Gucci. Like it's not really about. There's no announced winner, so it's all going to come down to who is your preference anyway. I mean, I'm out. I don't get it. I don't get the.
You're out.
It's like I don't know if y'all remember. There was a skit they had on In Living Color. Well, I don't want to say that because I know where it's going to go if I say that. But it's kind of like it's kind of like.
What are you talking about?
It's like if you're talking about like history of rap of like.
Yeah. I wonder what this business was. Where you going through with that?
They did something called the Black People Awards, where they had like awards for Black people stuff, and they had like a bunch of like B and C list actors that were on there getting awards for stuff. Like I'm not like Gucci Mane and Jeezy, yeah, great, but I don't get in the Versus because I'm like, bro, it's like you'll never see the top guys go at it, and there's certain guys who they're not going to call out. So it's like a bunch of B teamers going at it in the whole pantheon of hip hop or whatever you're doing. So it's like who's gonna be next, man? You got BG and like, bro, I don't care. Like BG and C Murder. Let's go. Like, all right.
Hey, I'd like to see that. We'll do that. I want to see. Yeah. We gonna do what? You Koopsta against Silk the Shocker.
Like it's all like the B team guys. And they like, yeah, it's weird. It'll get Silk the Shocker and BG. Let's go.
I'd like. Let's get it. Let's make it happen.
And some things about it it seems like they aren't relative though. Because like if a guy had more hits than another guy, like there's nothing that's going to be revealed in the Versus battle, like his hits or his hits. I mean, so. Then some people like, nah, but someone said, okay, bro, regardless of what you're talking about, like if he didn't have more hits, he's not better than him as far as the Versus battle is concerned. Whether it's a studio hit or whatever. I mean,
yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I'm with you. I'm with you there. Let's bring in our friend Kari Thompson. Maybe Kari's got some thoughts on this as he joins us now. Kari, good morning. You have any thoughts?
Good morning. I surprisingly did not watch the Versus battle, but I saw LeBron tweeted that he was going to buy some black forces for it, so he could dress up.
Okay. Well, I said, I just saw people talking about it, and I do enjoy the play-by-play that people do of the Versus battles, but that was
hilarious, man.
I know it was birthday time. It was birthday. I was doing birthday stuff, so I can't.
I got to call out Sane though for calling Jeezy and Gucci like B team JV guys.
Bro,
come on, now.
They are.
Come on, now.
They are. Like who's?
What?
Okay, you put either one of those dudes up against Drake. Like, why even watch it? It's pointless. Those are
it always comes back to Drake.
Guys,
good God,
man.
It's always coming back to Drake.
Jay-Z, Lil Wayne, Kanye West.
But there's levels to this.
Exactly, there's level two. They're B
But
teams.
there's there's MVPs and there's starters and there's reserves.
They're B teams.
B teams are dudes that shouldn't even be on the court, man.
That's not what I'm saying. If you're Drake, Jay-Z's, Kanye's are your starters, the Gucci Mane, Jeezys, those are your second team guys. I mean, it's an obvious analogy, bro. You'll never see the big dogs do this. You'll just see these guys like, the Gucci's and the Jeezys of the world. That's been the biggest names as far as this goes. So, yeah, I'm out.
Never,
I'm out.
He's out. So, Kari, have you heard all the rumors? What are your Boston people telling you about all this potential Grizzlies Celtics trade is going to go down? It initially was reported as Desmond Bane, 30th pick for a couple of second-round picks, but it has not been reported. It's not been official yet, and so there's some talk that this thing may expand out a little bit. Maybe it involves Enes Kanter. Maybe it involves Zach and Sane have wildly thrown out a 3-team deal involving Gordon Hayward in Indiana.
Did I throw out a 3-team deal?
deal? Well, no, Zach
I did.
throwing that out.
Okay.
Sane's throwing out some other stuff involving Gordon Hayward, just directly with the Grizzlies. So my apologies. Zach's the 3-team deal guy. I think that's an interesting thought, but I don't think it involves Gordon Hayward. Kari, what are you hearing from the Boston streets where you made your home for so long?
I've only seen that tweet that was talking about the 2 second-round picks. But I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, why would you trade down for those 2 second-rounders? Unless you think they're going to be good. So that's what I'm hearing on that. I know. So Gordon opted out of his deal, right? So he's going to be a free agent. So that's where I'm at. That's what I know, man. All I just know is we drafted Jordan Nesbitt. We didn't get Precious. I think Precious to the Heat is very interesting. But yeah, what are your thoughts on Jordan Nesbitt to the Celtics? That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, Aaron Nesmith is like to me, he's an interesting dude. Yeah. He's an interesting dude. I like as far as his shooting is incredible. Like he shot it like crazy, and if you think that level of production can continue and he's got length and all that, then it fits perfectly with what Boston does, because you need bigger wings who can shoot it. That's always a commodity that you need. So that makes perfect sense to me. As far as his I don't know how much upside he's got, but I think for what he is and what he's going to do, I think I get why they did it. Some people, he's weird because some people really don't think he's got much more left and don't really like him as a pick that high. Other people really love him because of the way he can shoot it. I think it makes perfect sense. I thought it was a reasonable pick.
Yeah,
Grizzlies fans. Oh, go ahead.
I typically look at non-Kentucky SEC guys with the side eye. I think he's fine. Of course, he's a shooter. His shooting numbers blew up so much from year 1 to year 2, though, because he was shooting 33% as a freshman, and he jumped up to 52% or something like that. So, which is an insane, increase over 1 year. I mean, if a guy can knock down shots in the NBA, I tell people all the time, it comes down to player evaluation in the draft. I don't like Mr. Do Everything in college. I don't like those guys unless they're elite at it. If they're incredible at being Mr. Do Everything, cool. But guys who are just guys who do a lot of stuff good in college basketball, I'm not a fan of how they transition to the NBA, because a lot of those guys don't have an individual skill that stands out. But Nesbitt definitely can knock down shots. So I mean, yeah, if he can keep that up and that's real, yeah, it'd be a good pickup for you guys.
Yeah, a lot of Grizzlies fans seem excited about this trade. You guys seem pretty hype over Desmond back.
Oh yeah, we're down for anything we can put on a T-shirt, man, or some kind of giveaway or something. We down for all that.
The Bane man.
Oh yeah, the Bane man.
Bane man. Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see what happens there from a Celtics standpoint, Kari. Losing Gordon Hayward, because if he's opting out, the odds that he's re-signing to me are pretty slim. It would tell me that he's got some kind of offer coming in from somewhere that he feels pretty confident of.
Because he has money stable.
Yeah, exactly. So like Indiana might make some sense for him because of the hometown team and all that stuff, and they could use him on the roster too. But losing him, in addition to what you've already lost, you lost Kyrie last year, because of the whole thing you lost. Okay, debatable, but fair enough. You've lost starters. You've lost starters each of the last couple of years without bringing anybody back, and you've got young players to plug in, but at some point you run out of young players to plug in. Are you worried?
No, because we've been playing without Gordon for so long. You know what I mean? Like, if Gordon plugged right in and started playing 82 games and was one of those mainstays, then I would be worried. But Gordon has missed quite a bit of time with the C. And, I think that Jalen and Jason have just proven that they can hold it down on the wings for us. So, no, I'm not worried at all. They are a better team with Gordon Hayward, but it's just like they rarely ever have, like, dude, before I could even get excited about him, he snaps his leg on national TV. And then, he missed a bunch of time this year. So, there's no question that he can ball, and happy to have him on the court whenever he's there. He's not there a lot.
Yeah. No, you're right. Now, what are you going to be like? What's the plan for you tonight? We have quarterfinal action around high school, and then we also have we have the beginnings of boys and girls basketball. You've done some players to watch and started to keep an eye on that. What's your plan for tonight?
So, as you know, Peter, we're getting down to the end of it. This is the semifinals for the private schools. So, winner go home for ECS and MUS. There are only 2 private school teams left. We've got the quarterfinals over at Bartlett, which is where I'll be. The rematch, Bartlett versus Collierville Part 2. That one went to overtime last time I was there. And then obviously you can't forget about Mississippi. Hernando pulled off an upset. They beat South Panola to advance to the quarterfinals. That was a huge win for them. But yeah, I'm going to see Bartlett and Collierville again. Winners in the 6A semifinals. That's big. That's also where I'll be next week because there'll be like no other games. But yeah, man, got to go see Robert Giamo again.
What's what was the Mr. Football situation? We had some Mr. Football finalists named for 2020 as well.
Yeah. Well, we only have 2 Mr. Football finalists this year, and they're both from private schools. Nobody 1 through 6A for public schools was even a finalist. So the 2 finalists are Dallin Hayden, Christian Bowes, obviously. My humble opinion, I think he should win it because he's been dominant this year. 2,000-yard rusher, best player on one of the best teams in the area for sure. Offers from everywhere. Not that it has anything to do with Mr. Football, but, I mean, just the total package as a running back. And then you got Dietrich Pennington. You got the big Clemson commitment on the O-line over at ECS, 6'6", 300, paving the way for that O-line. They're defending state champs. They have a huge home game against Lipscomb tonight. Trent Dilfer is going to be in town. You got 2 strong candidates in DC Triple and DC AA.
Can we also talk real quick, basketball wise? What's the situation? What's the latest?
Man, I mean, there's no update, and John Rose just wrote a piece basically about how coaches do not have the information that they need, and they spoke to him. They didn't want to use her name. He reported out of fears of being fired. You know what I mean? It's like, I wrote something very similar weeks ago talking to players, and that you have players that are trying to make real decisions, and there's no update or information or anything that indicates what Shelby County Schools is doing with basketball. But you literally have Johnson Lawson, Gatorade Tennessee Player of the Year, who's like, I just want to play with my team, and I want to win a state title, and I want to continue my legacy here in Memphis. But there's a chance I might not be able to do that. So please let me know so I can decide whether or not I go to Oregon, early. And it's just, he doesn't have the information. And so that's where we're at with it. There's no updates. They're treating this very cavalierly. They're treating it like sports don't matter, really. Like they're not dignifying our request with a response at this point. You know what I mean? Like, we've asked multiple times for metrics. You've asked to know a yes or no whether they're going to play. And all we get is that sports is indefinitely suspended. And I get it. You don't want to make a rash decision. You don't want to rush to make a decision. But, I mean, you got to say, as Dave Chappelle would say, you got to say something.
I don't know, man. It's such a we've talked. It feels like we've talked about it for the last like 4 months in various forms with football, now basketball. Like the communication has been awful. The consistency's been awful. There's been no way. It's very difficult for coaches to do their jobs in this situation, and I understand, and I sympathize with the administrators and trying to figure out all these details, but the lack of communication about it is just that's inexcusable as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not out here to rip SDS, but I mean, at some point you just have to be honest about the situation, and the honest, facts are that we don't know whether or not there's going to be a basketball season, and everybody else, what do you want to talk about? Southern County, private schools, suburban schools, they're all playing. SDS kids don't know whether or not they're comfortable with it. And we saw how this shook out in our football season. Because everyone was hoping for a football season. We're like, maybe SDS will just have to play in early September, or maybe there's an October plan of only the city schools. And then we wait, and we wait, and we wait, and there's nothing. That's another showcase. Which the showcase is cool. It was a good event or whatever. But, it's just, I foresee basketball going down a similar route unless something changes. But, it shouldn't, I mean, they're leaving it up to speculation when I would think it would serve them better to just say, look, this is where we're at. Because, you're just letting people speculate on it. So.
You're letting people speculate, and that's it. It's gonna be like that. So I hate to say it, but it's just gonna get worse because we can't even get there's no communication in any sector. Look at restaurants and bars and small businesses and all there's been so much just a complete lack of discussion with them about what to do, and so I don't know why schools should be any different. Everyone is struggling with this big time. Kari, appreciate it, man. I'm sure we'll talk here soon. Also, real quick, Nike has somehow managed to screw up the city version of the Boston Celtics jersey. I don't even understand how you can mess up the Celtics jersey.
Oh, let me look at this.
It's green and white. It's classic. It's awful. They just released it. I have so many issues with the Celtics. That jersey's trash. Terrible jersey, defacing an iconic jersey. Ridiculous. The Celtics Twitter account yesterday is out here releasing 30 seconds of high school highlights of Peyton Pritchard like that's anything. Like that's supposed to make anybody feel better about that terrible pick at that position. It's not even good high school highlights. It's just, I'm annoyed by the Celtics, Kari, so it's ridiculous.
Yeah, when they shot the Peyton Pritchard.
God.
I had the Snoop Dogg whoop.
Yeah, huh? And then you look at these highlights, and the highlights are like the most mid, like a little half crossover in a gym, full of just it's just oh god, it looks like any random kid from a private school around here, Okay, I mean it's nice looking. What? You're a professional basketball team. You're one of the most storied franchises in all of sports, and you're posting 30 seconds from huddle of Peyton Pritchard. What are you doing? Have some dignity.
He's going to be a fan favorite up there in Boston, man.
Well, you know why he's a fan favorite up there in Boston. Yep, that's right.
Hey, so this is like I see the jersey is kind of modeled off of the banners y'all have hanging from the Raptors. You guys are all historians, so
absolute trash.
Yeah, it is kind of terrible.
God,
dude's wearing the freaking sign.
Oh.
Hey, quit trying to be Memphis too, man. Quit trying to get the I Am a Man jerseys, man. Come on, man.
Nobody's trying to be Memphis thing. Relax.
That's for sure. No, it's that's for sure. Boston's feeling about players is totally different.
The dude's got the banner jersey.
That's for sure. Terrible. Absolutely awful. So Kari, you're a shame. It's a shame for your franchise and your city, frankly.
Thanks.
All right, we got to run. Enjoy your evening tonight, Kari. We'll chat again soon, buddy, and have a good Thanksgiving.
Yes, sir. You too. Thanks.
All right, brother.
Enjoy.
Kari Thompson, our friend Kari, joining us, trying to defend the indefensible when it comes to his Celtics. Awful. You know what I mean? Saying like, how do you mess up the Celtics?
Yeah,
like,
it is.
It's the easiest thing.
Like looking at it like at itself, fine. Like I get it, but it's a little too gimmicky. Like Boston is, like they're one of the originals, man. Like I don't. It's some teams that shouldn't even get into all this stuff. You know what I mean? They should just kind of leave it alone.
No,
I'm gonna tell you what I like though. Have you seen that Charlotte joint, the Buzz City, like the?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that joint that's nasty.
Mm-hmm.
Like I like that. I like that for real.
No.
I think I saw like a Timberwolves joint that was alright too. Let me see. Go ahead.
The of the city jerseys, the ones that I like, obviously the Miami is great. The San Antonio Fiesta ones are good.
Yeah, that court is sweet too.
Denver's done a nice one, I think, if I remember correctly. But most of them are not any good. Most of them are just ugly and weird. And,
Brooklyn is looks like some chalkboard stuff. I don't know what they got going.
Detroit did one today. it looks pretty much just like
last year.
You know, it's just very generic, like did Motor City, yeah, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We got a little breaking news involving the University of Tennessee. We'll do that when we come back. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1, 98.5.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ. Listen to us daily on AM 560, 98.5 FM, and 96.1 FM.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. Dealing with battery problems? We can help you out and get you ready for the colder weather ahead. Let's start with a free battery test. If you just need a free charge, we can help with that too. And if it's time for a new battery, we've got replacement batteries that fit your needs, starting at just $79.99. That's what makes us America's #1 battery destination. Claim based on data from the NPD Group 2019.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Action247.com is your Tennessee sportsbook for same-day pay. Action247.com. Local, legal. A sportsbook by Tennesseans, for Tennesseans. Win a little or win a lot. Action247 has same-day pay. The other guys make you wait for your winnings. No more waiting with Action247 same-day pay. Visit us online at Action247.com. Local, legal. Action247. You got action.
Problem gambling? Call 1-800-889-9789.
Hi, this is Troy Five-Ash, owner of Five-Ash Roof Services. You've heard me talk about how we offer the best products, the best warranties, and the best services for years. Now let's talk about pricing. Pricing should never be the only reason you hire a contractor, but in today's world, pricing is always a consideration. So we suggest you get 2 or 3 estimates for your roof replacement from a reputable, licensed, and insured company, and then give us a call. If we can't beat your best price for a comparable roof system by more than $100, we'll give you $100. It's that simple. We are so sure we can offer you the best price, beating all other qualified companies. We will hand you $100 if we can't, and thank you for the opportunity. So give us a call. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? Make $100? Five-Ash Roof Services, a proud supporter of Tiger Athletics and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. Five-Ash Roof Services, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Five-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Hey friends, all aboard to A&J Catfish Station's newest location in Millington at 7838 Church Street. A&J Catfish Station has delicious light battered farm-raised catfish and mouth-watering big fried shrimp. Try the popular blackened catfish or fresh fried filet and whole channel catfish. Then there's mouth-watering mac and cheese, homemade tartar sauce, great burgers and fries, and fresh vegetables. Got a sweet tooth? Enjoy A&J's Peach Cobbler, voted #1 in Memphis. A&J Catfish Station, now with a new location in Millington at 7838 Church Street.
All 75 months at 2.99. Mirage, LHO 10130, MSRP 16565. G4, LHF 12318, MSRP 17435. Outlander, LZO 38819, MSRP 381. Outlander PEV qualifies for a $5,836 federal tax credit. Consult your tax advisor. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695 excludes tax filing license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 11/30/2020. Dealer stock only.
The 2020 year-end sales event is on at Gossett Mitsubishi on the Pike. 2020 Mitsubishi Mirage. Buy for $11,100 or $99 a month. 43 MPG Highway. A Mirage you can't miss with 2020 G4. 41 MPG Highway. $139 a month or buy for $12,435. Plus, crossover with 4x4 off-road capabilities with 74 MPG. 2020 Mitsubishi Outlander plug-in hybrid EV. $27,838 or $359 per month. And 10 years of confidence with Mitsubishi's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Get to Gossett Mitsubishi today, 1870 Covington Pike, or shop online at memphismitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston.
Yes, I will be good. I promise.
Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane.
That's great, man.
This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis. Now, back to Peter and Anthony.
Guys, add him to the list.
Who we at?
Said Philip Fulmer. You know Philip Fulmer, right?
Yeah. Quit playing, man.
He's got COVID.
Oh, no, man.
Yeah. Yep. Add him to the list.
That ain't cool at all.
No. So, yeah. It's happening, man. It's all over the place.
Yeah.
Is all I can say. You look around our area, you look around the country. This is why I had people. I get annoyed by this saying, so you forgive me for a second, but I when I talk about like the fact that I just think it's irresponsible for the University of Memphis to send anyone to South Dakota at this point. When South Dakota has positivity rates of 68%. That means 68% of the people that are tested test positive, which means that you're only getting tested if you are like for pretty much for sure that you got it. That means they're missing so many cases, people that aren't being tested. That's a huge sign of unchecked community spread where you just really are out of control. Big thing can be made for that Sturgis rally back in South Dakota in the middle of summer as a super spreader event that lit the fire for what's happened since then.
Mm-hmm.
Huge case can be made for that. But anyway, so you send them up into that area and somebody's they're not. It's not like they're playing. It's not like they're it's not like they're playing against random people from South Dakota. It's not like they're doing anything. This annoys me so much. The lack of our, and I feel bad because I feel like it's because we as a society have not like talked about this. Like we haven't, our leaders have done such a poor job of communicating about this. Just like we're talking about with Kari in the schools and all that.
Right.
They've done such a poor job of communicating about this that there's still so many people who fundamentally misunderstand what we're talking about. If you have community spread at that level, any kind of interactions at all outside of the norm, anything, you go to a hotel, you interact with people at a hotel, just random stuff. You go to they got to go to a restaurant somewhere, even to go in and get takeout and bring it into whatever. Any kind of interactions you have at the arena, they are all magnified greatly because odds are with the check that's with widespread COVID like that, you're going to run into people that have it.
Right.
You just can't help it. You just can't help it.
If it's 50-something% of people that have actually been tested, like it's safe to assume that everybody's got it. I mean, that's the mentality.
You have to assume pretty much everyone's got it.
Yeah, like that is so out of control, man. Like that is wow. Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, it's like some of these states are 50, 60, 70% positivity rates, which means they're not testing nearly enough because you only have you're only getting tested basically if you've got it. At that stage, it's you can't send them up into that environment because it's just you're taking an extraordinary risk in doing so. That's why so many of these teams have canceled. They said we can't go. We're not going to go.
Yeah, it's crazy.
We can't put our people up there. And I mean, Philip Fulmer, good example. Like I mean, I'm sure Philip Fulmer was in a very controlled environment. They've been testing, throughout. They've been trying to keep everyone safe and all that, and he gets it. Manny Diaz, the same thing, with University of Miami. I'm sure they've been testing. I'm sure they've been very vigorous about all that stuff. He gets it. It is in certain situations when it gets to the level that it's at right now in our country. That's why people are saying, and the CDC said it yesterday, don't travel for Thanksgiving. Don't do it. Don't. Yeah. It sucks. I wish there was better news, but you can't just pretend like, hey, I'm sick of it. Hey, man, I'm sick of. We're all sick of it.
Yeah, my brother Greg.
But that doesn't mean you just get to go out there and do whatever you want. Be like, screw it, because the more people get sick, the more people have to be hospitalized, the more strain there is on the hospitals for everybody else. You're seeing stories around the country now of hospitals in tons of different areas. I saw one in Nebraska. One of the best hospitals in the country when it comes to pandemics is overwhelmed right now. They have 10 floors of just COVID.
Yeah.
In Nebraska. You're not talking about that's. There's not that many people in Nebraska. Imagine if it's actually dense population areas.
My brother that calls in, my brother Greg, the musician that calls in, he usually comes down. They alternate. They either come Thanksgiving or Christmas every year. And this is his year to be here for Thanksgiving. We won't see him at all. And, so.
And it sucks.
It sucks, but you got to do what you got to do, man. You just can't. And, yeah. I had a quick question, too. Because I know you know better than me. I'm looking at this thing about Pfizer and BioNTech or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. You're trying to get permission from the U.S. U.S. Food and Drug Administration. How does that work globally, though?
The EU has its own version of that body that authorizes and approves the use for vaccines. All that stuff has.
So they can say, "Screw it, we're putting it out now," if they wanted to.
No, they have to get authorizations from various people to do that. You can't just throw a vaccine widespread. And I'm sure in some small limited use or whatever, but no, all that stuff is pretty tightly controlled by the EU. They have their own equivalent body. I don't know what it's called, but
no, I'm saying their body could approve something that the United States doesn't, or vice versa. The United States could say we're approving this, but Europe can be no.
In theory, yeah. Usually they are, in pretty much in lockstep. There's a lot of cooperation across borders because they know it's obviously it's affected every single country in the world. So it would be kind of I'm not gonna say pointless, but it would not make a lot of sense to have one that would be effective in one country, and if it is truly effective, and not have it be authorized to use around the world. All these, just as a side note, all these other pharmaceutical companies would like to make money as much as they can, so it's in their best interest to have it approved as widely as possible too. And plus with the vaccine, because we have for all these years decided that we didn't really want to deal with science or anything like that. And so we just kind of let anti-vax people have the mic and talk a lot and spew nonsense about vaccines and make people worry for no apparent reason. Now you have a lot of people that aren't going to take it, so they have to be very, very careful when they make it to make sure that it's safe and good to go, because people are understandably nervous, but also overly nervous about the concept of a vaccine.
I was just looking for some bootleg opportunities so I could get some stuff,
Oh, yeah,
sold in the black market to another nation or something,
that's a step up in your game. The bootleg,
it's big
vaccines.
Time,
that's a big step up for you. Miser. That's what we said. We said miser vaccine. The miser vaccine is basically the same thing.
Bio and chick. Bio.
It's basically the same thing. It's pretty much COVID-18.
Bio and TikTok.
COVID-18 that's the one that stops, which is basically
it's for last year's joint, man. It still work though, man.
You can't even tell the difference.
It gets straight, man. It's just, expiration date, man. Number the shelf life, man. You can still buy it after the shelf life, man. It's just a recommendation. It's just a recommended date,
Yeah, I think that's where we're at right now. So anyway, yes, Philip Fulmer's got it, it's unfortunate to see. I think he is not symptomatic. We've seen, I think 9 Congress people now had it this morning. It's just happening all over the place. It's crazy. So I don't know. Hope these games are played. Hope we can play some games at least coming up for tomorrow. Haven't seen any updates. I think Memphis is still playing Stephen F. Austin. Everything appears to be okay. The Tigers are 30-point favorites there. And I want to see that this is when the Tigers, after a year where it's been, there have been some ups and some downs and some iffy play. It's really time to lay an almighty beat down. It's time to go to the woodshed.
Yeah, on one of these bombs.
This is when you need a 75-0 just
lay the smack down on Stephen F. Austin.
That's exactly right.
Hold on now, you gotta come correct to Stephen F. Austin. It's the Southland champion, Stephen F. Austin.
I understand.
Because they're the only ones they're playing. And it's the Southland champions, Stephen F. Austin.
Yeah, they won that championship on Tuesday. Well, a few Tuesdays ago. When everybody else
Several Tuesdays ago.
When everybody else said, "Nah, we're out." Did they get a trophy? Did that go in?
I hope so. I mean, why wouldn't you? I hope so. I mean, I think that's fantastic. Why in the world wouldn't you? That's fair. That's the way it's supposed to be. Southland champion Stephen F. Austin coming in here. Do you expect to see a Tiger beatdown, or do you think they'll still have a few of the?
Memphis needs to go in and handle these dudes, man. Yeah, I think they'll run away with them. They should.
They should. And obviously, that's why they are massively favored in the game. I would expect that they would do that. And they have an opportunity to still at this point, even with how weird this year has been, to salvage things and to make things as good as possible. Even if winning the conference at this point seems a little likely out of reach. A whole lot to get to, especially when it comes to free agency, which is getting underway in just mere hours. We'll have the latest on all of that and what we think, because I want a prediction from you about DeAnthony Melton, since we will probably find out over the next 24 to 48 hours what is going to happen there. So I want a prediction from you. We'll do that when we continue next. Stick around. Hour number 3 brought to you by our friends at Acura of Memphis. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1, 98.5.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio. We are Sports 56, 98.5, and 96.1.
The folks at Homer Skelton Hyundai want to say thank you. Thank you, Memphis, for another spectacular year. They set records, but I can understand why. You think about the product. Where else do you get a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty? That's what you get on every new car at Homer Skelton Hyundai. Oh, and thank you again for the 11th straight year, the #1 certified pre-owned car dealership in all of Memphis. It starts with that product, but then it goes to the shopper assurance. Where else do you go where you get transparent pricing, flexible test drive, take the car for a couple of days if you want, streamlined buying process? You're not going to be there all day, in and out. And then, and I have not seen this anywhere else, the 3-day worry-free exchange. You buy a new car, if you've got any buyer's remorse, you've got 3 days to change your mind. Just get on Lamar, take it into Mississippi, the first exit's Craft Road, turn left, and go see Chris True and all the gang at Homer Skelton Hyundai. Spend the holidays at home this year with a little help from Family Leisure. Family Leisure has so many spas in stock and hundreds more on order. Now's your time to really save big. Huge savings on pool tables, game tables, arcades, massage chairs, and a whole lot more. Buy a pool now and save the 2021 price increase. Plus, you'll get early installation scheduling. The Holidays at Home sale happening now at Family Leisure, Whidden Road at I-40, where family and fun come together for the holidays.
Swing into Edwin Watts Golf Shops this holiday season for the hottest gifts from Titleist, featuring the Titleist TSI metals with an all-new aerospace titanium-based construction that's never been used before in golf. This new engineering pushes the boundaries of speed. TSI is faster in air and faster at impact to give you the longest, straightest, best-looking, best-sounding Titleist metals ever. Come into Edwin Watts Golf Shops and get custom fit today. Edwin Watts Golf Shops, your holiday headquarters since 1968, and shop online at worldwidegolfshops.com.
For the ones standing guard, for the eagle-eyed, for the knights in shining armor, and for all those who support them. We are Grainger, your experienced safety partner, offering supplies and solutions for every industry, committed to helping keep your facilities safe and your people safer. Call clickgrainger.com/safety or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Are you looking for a dependable car at a fair price and guaranteed financing approval? Then you need to make your way to Collierville Auto Center, where one price shopping is the name of the game. Family owned and operated, Collierville Auto Center has been in the business for over 20 years and is proud to serve the people of this area. Collierville Auto Center is stocked with over 50 units, including cars, trucks, SUVs, and Highlines. Looking for a particular type of vehicle? Collierville Auto Center offers a locator service with 72-hour turnaround service. With over 30 years in the automotive industry, Scott Martin would be happy to show you how their affordable pricing and guaranteed financing can work for you. Come see Scott and his professional staff of Terry, Branson, Q for your car needs. Conveniently located at 651 West Poplar Avenue, Collierville Auto Center is situated where Highway 72 meets Poplar and Collierville. Please look them up on the web at ColliervilleAutoCenter.com. Call at 901-853-0240 or simply come and see them for an outstanding car buying experience. At Collierville Auto Center, they're here for you.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston.
Yes, I will be good. I promise.
Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane.
That's great, man.
This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis. Now, back to Peter and Anthony.
Work and work. Well, those cars never seem to stop coming. Work and work. Keep those bags and machines humming. Work and work. My fingers to the bone. Work. If I can't wait till it's time to go home. Hey, get your car washed today.
All right, so we are just hours away from free agency. We already had the draft just a couple days ago. NBA is this is when it gets real. It's real. It's real. So, your prediction, Gucci saying.
As far as the Anthony Melton is concerned, I think
Anthony D. Melton, as I like to call him.
Dean, as far as Dean Tony Melton goes. Shout out to Mark Jackson.
Mike D'Antoni Melton.
Dean Tony Melton. No, but either one or two things are happening with D'Anthony, in my opinion.
Thing number one.
I think that either he is signed quickly, like 5 p.m. you hear D'Anthony Melton signs with the Grizzlies, and I think there's a window of maybe a 24, 48-hour window that I call quickly. And I think that if he isn't signed in that amount of time, I think the Grizzlies aren't bringing him back. Well, because I think the only way they bring him back is if they've already got something in place, they've worked out a reasonable number, and he's, all right, I want to stay here. Okay, we want you here. Okay, so let's just keep this in house and we'll take care of this. And then you hear some D'Anthony Melton news. But I think if he gets out there and he's out there looking for money and his agent's looking for money, I think he'll find it. And I think the Grizzlies won't bring him back, or they'll sign and trade him like Zach has been hinting at for like the last few weeks.
Zach, you seem to have thoughts on this issue.
No, I'm a believer of, not like I love like you said, I love D'Anthony. I love everything that he brought, brought to Memphis. It's just a matter of like how much money you willing to spend on your third or fourth guard coming off your bench. Cause you're not like ideally you don't want to like invest $10 million into your fourth guard coming off your bench. So I mean, just like what they did with DeLon, you just sign and trade him, get some picks for him, or maybe you use them to facilitate some other 3-team trade that can't really say that's out there or not.
And another thing about D'Anthony as well, if you look at it, is you've got Ja, you've got Dylan still here. You saw a lot in Grayson. You got Justice Winslow. You just drafted Bane.
Yeah.
That's what, 5 guys?
Yeah.
Like, even if you take Grayson out of the equation and you put D'Anthony in, like, why are you paying that? How much money do you want to pay a guy who's probably third at the highest in that pecking order? He's probably actually going to be fourth or fifth. I mean, just being real, like as far as your wing rotation, like where is he really fit in that whole that whole point guard, 2-guard, combo guard? Where does he really fit in that rotation with those guys? I mean, he was up there this year, but like, how much are you really wanting to pay a guy who's not who may be your first guy off the bench? You know what I mean? So I think that's all something the Grizzlies have to consider.
And we kind of saw during the bubble that shooting is an issue, and I mean, even though DeAnthony was shooting the ball pretty well during the season, when we needed him like in a crucial moment, he wasn't able to knock down shots when you needed him. I mean, maybe credit for like a long layoff or whatever going into the bubble, but he wasn't able to knock down shots. Like I said, this is no offense to DeAnthony. It's just the fact the number wise and money wise is just not is not adding up. It doesn't make sense for the Grizzlies to like spend $10 million on him.
I'm also of the belief that the whole thing that he has this like insane amount of value where teams are going to want to overpay for him.
Right.
I'm not sure I believe how true that is. Like I don't think that's actually a thing. I think that it might actually just be talk. So.
I mean, I'm not saying overpay is not. I'm not going to say overpay. But there are different markets here, obviously, and I don't think he's in the top market. I think your top market is whatever Gordon Hayward's going to do. Fred VanVleet is going to be getting some run. You would think, even Christian Wood is probably going to get some pretty big money based on his career and what he's done. The Bogdanovich situation, I assume that's already kind of taken care of. I still think that deal is going to get done, but theoretically he'd be out there. Malik Beasley would have had a lot more run as a restricted free agent if he didn't have the legal issues that he's dealing with. And he's 23, so I think he'd be kind of a direct competitor. But now because of the legal issues and what's happened, I think that's going to depress the market on him just a little bit. You have another guy like Derek Jones Jr. Who is out there and who did some stuff for Miami. So I think those are the guys that DeAnthony has to deal with. But I think he's squarely in the second tier of guys, which means, for teams that are willing to give him a full, like I think he's looking at a full mid-level kind of situation potentially, very similar to what the Grizzlies did with Kyle Anderson a couple of years back to pry him away from San Antonio. Mm-hmm. And I think much like San Antonio with Kyle Anderson, like. If you looked at the Spurs and you looked at what he did, I think DeAnthony's played a bigger role than Kyle did with the Spurs, but not necessarily that much. And the Spurs really liked him. They invested a lot in Kyle Anderson. They liked him. They liked the way he played. They gave him. They didn't give enough opportunities to kind of handle the ball, but they had plans for him. But the Grizzlies sort of forced their hand a little bit. I think if someone gives DeAnthony Melton a similarly sized kind of fit mid-level, full non-taxpayer mid-level. For 3 or 4 years, I don't think the Grizzlies want to match that.
Yeah,
I think they'd much rather, have a much team friendlier kind of deal. I think the third option that you did not mention, saying that I do think is on the board, is if it kind of, depending on how it breaks with some of the teams that would have money and would be willing to spend, if they go in different directions, I think he could sit out there like a JaMychal Green for a while.
Yeah,
I think this could get kind of ugly and just sort of. The difference is, of course, you don't have all summer for it to kind of to fester. Mm-hmm. But I think you could see him sit out, maybe miss a little bit of training camp, trying to get a deal done.
Right.
I think that's entirely possible. I don't think he's going to just, accept the fact if the market collapses for him. I don't know that he's just going to be overjoyed to accept a smaller 1 or 2 year deal. Yeah.
Another thing too about him is that you could possibly see is possibly overpaying for him. Just to keep the asset. This is something that me and Cam Rose were talking about yesterday. Yeah. Sometimes you can sign a guy that you don't particularly want to keep him long term, but you don't want to just let him walk either. So you keep the asset because it's make it a contract that's a tradable contract that you can trade later on because they're not under the cap anyway. So it's not like they can just go out and just spend the money on someone else. So he might be a guy that you just want to get under contract for a couple of years just in case you can use him in a trade or whatever it may be. But I think, but as far as will he be back or will he not be back? I don't really have a say on it. Like I don't really know. Like I don't really have a call on it. I can kind of guess how I think it might go, but I don't want to make a he'll be back or he won't be back type call.
You don't want to make a call.
No, I don't want to do the whole he's coming back or he's
like
walking.
it's a definite.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of stuff that can happen that can affect whether because he could be part of a sign and trade or whatever. Like I don't particularly mean that him not coming back doesn't mean that he didn't want to be here or they didn't want him back or whatever. It might just be some other factors going to. I'm not really the big. I don't know.
So you're not going to put a prediction like at the end of the weekend he's going to be a Grizzly or he's not going to.
No,
be a Grizzly?
I don't want to get into it. I'll leave that to the expert.
What else do you?
Who is it? Okay. I was like, man, I said, oh man, somebody's finna kill Zach.
No. No.
Gabe Kuhn walked in the studio. All I saw was like an arm around Zach's neck. Like I didn't know what was going on.
I mean, Gabe could be intimidating.
Oh yeah, he's a big dude.
He's a big dude. He puts his arm around your neck.
It's over.
It's over. It's over for real. Do you think there's any more smoke in the Celtics business before we?
I've been on the phone this morning. Trying to see what's going on out here, man. So. Yeah, I'm out here.
Anthony Wojnarowski is out here. Toj is out here.
Whoa.
Trying to work the streets.
W-O-A-H. W-O-A-H. Woj.
Woe bomb.
Wojnarowski out here.
Anthony Wojnarowski. What have you heard anything? Scams Sharani is out here.
Oh man,
Scams, you broken anything today? Scams.
Fart Stein.
Scams, come on, Scams! I want to see the Scams breaking it up. Let's go.
No, I ain't got nothing yet, man. But if I get somebody, tell y'all there, man. You know why? Because we about to go off there anyway. So.
It's exactly right. So I know they'll be talking about it next on Middays.
Yep.
Greg and Eli, they'll talk about the football situation. They'll have a lot of talk about the Tigers and Stephen F. Austin. Philip Fulmer's got COVID. It's a whole thing that's going on. Everybody, be safe. Have a good weekend. We'll talk to you on Monday.